Yemo's spirit sense wasn't able to scan inside, but even until now, no one came out. This made him feel safer. If there were just these two hollow spirit state cultivators, he really wasn't afraid. Yemo's spirit sense wasn't able to scan inside, but even until now, no one came out. This made him feel safer. If there were just these two hollow spirit state cultivators, he really wasn't afraid. Yemo pulled down his face mask magic artifact and said coldly, "Mo you cities Yemo, out here for the specific purpose of killing Infinity Sect trash." Then, before they could reply, Zishu hacked out again. At the same time, he secretly let out Shadowless. There was one hollow spirit state level 4 and one hollow spirit state level 7. Ever since Shadowless evolved to pure gold, he had never used him in battle. "It's you." The hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivator's eyes went red. He said no more and released an oval-shaped magic artifact. As a hollow spirit state cultivator, he knew some of the high-level things in the sect. Yuan Guannan was killed by this guy, and now that this guy was in front of him, how could he show mercy? This was the first time that Yemo saw a magic artifact like this. It was like a toilet. Two different colored rays shot out from the two sides, one black and one red. Yemo's sword ray was swept by the two colors and dimmed down. Even Zishu almost flew out of his hand. Yemo was shook and hacked out a spirit sense sword. He took Zishu back but wasn't able to keep using Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike. The hollow spirit state tertiary stage saw that his magic artifact didn't sweep away Yemo's purple kitchen knife and was a little surprised, but then he sneered, "To be able to clutch your shitty kitchen knife so tightly under my dual-color primordial bag, you have some capabilities. But I will let you know regret for daring to kill our Infinity Sect member." Yemo didn't wait for this hollow spirit state tertiary stage to keep attacking and hacked out 13 strikes. The heavenly covering purple sword rays instantly surrounded the hollow spirit state level 7, but he sneered in contempt. Little trick. However, Yemo's target wasn't him but the hollow spirit state level 4. He knew that even if he could kill the hollow spirit state level 7, it wouldn't be quick, so he had to kill that hollow spirit state level 4 first. So, Yemo used Illusion Cloud Division Strike, Exert Will Strike and Formation Kill Strike to trap the hollow spirit state level 7 while he attacked the hollow spirit state level 4. The hollow spirit state level 4 released his magic artifact. It was also a sword but seemed much more aesthetically pleasing than Yemo's kitchen knife. He was scared of Yemo's strike that he had used to kill the hollow spirit state level 3. Yemo's Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike already hacked over. He didn't see clearly this strike but he knew the power of it very clearly. It was a strike that was unrelenting. He didn't have the dual-colored primordial bag so he released his sword and a black square shield before Zishu came to him. The strike gave him too much shock and he didn't expect Yemo to be ambushing him while fighting his martial brother. The long sword was released and drew out a 10-meter-long white ray as though trying to cut Zishu and Yemo in half. Yemo knew this wasn't a sword technique but magic arts. However, Yemo didn't stop at all. He hacked out Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike and clashed with the long sword. An ear-screeching sound came and purple rays splashed everywhere. The white ray disappeared but Zishu was stopped. Yemo grunted and didn't take back Zishu, he hacked again. In his desperation, that cultivator used his black square shield. With a thud, Zishu hacked into the shield and that cultivator spat out a mouthful of blood. The dark color on the shield faded and before Yemo's third strike came, he used a rune. As soon as the rune was thrown out, it exploded, discharging a lightning arc the size of a baby's arm towards Yemo. Yemo sneered and ignored the lightning arc. If it was some other rune he might consider dodging, but for a lightning arc like that, he wouldn't even frown if there were 7 or 8. Even the smallest lightning arc in his divine damnation was stronger than this. This lightning arc was enough to even damage hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivators, but it was useless against him. Seeing that Yemo ignored his rune and kept attacking, the hollow spirit state level 4 cultivator's mouth was wide open in shock. He didn't understand why Yemo wanted to suicide. Even if he killed him, would he be able to deal with this rune? At this instant, Yemo felt some danger but Yemo had no intentions of taking back his strike. He knew that the danger was coming not from the rune but the hollow spirit state level 7 cultivator. He immediately released his octagonal cauldron. Even if he got injured, he would kill one first. Zishu hacked onto the hollow spirit state level 4 and the hollow spirit state cultivator fell helplessly from the sky in a splash of blood. Yimo also instantly spat a few mouthfuls of blood. The octagonal cauldron made a huge buzzing sound. He knew this was the hollow spirit state level 7 ambushing him. Yimo ate a pill and looked coldly at the furious hollow spirit state level 7. He was by himself now. Although Yimo only set up a level 4 formation in a rush, he knew that it might actually be the key to turn the tides for him. It's City Lord Yi. Luo Fei saw Yimo and her eyes went red. Martial Brother Guan, you're fine? Great. The two Golden Core State disciples immediately rejoiced. Gan Liang greets Martial Uncle Jie, Martial Brother Miao, and Martial Sister. Is the sect leader all right? Gan Liang bowed to the old man and asked. Gan Liang thought Yimo was at least Hollow Spirit State peak stage to be able to kill that Hollow Spirit State level 3, so he wasn't worried. Martial Brother Gan, sect leader he is gone. The current sect leader is Martial Sister Fei. Sect leader told us to listen to her. The youngest female disciple said dejectedly. Gan Liang's eyes turned red. He had entered Sword Valley at a young age. His character and sword were both taught by the sect leader. Martial Brother Gan, don't feel too bad. We need to bring Sword Valley into prosperity. What we need to do now is not make the sect leader disappointed, Luo Fei quickly comforted. Gan Liang immediately bowed. You're the sect leader now, you must not call me Martial Brother. Luo Fei nodded. Okay, just call me sect leader Martial Sister, sect leader is too distant. Martial Brother Gan, did that powerful Qian Bei come with you? Who is he? The youngest female disciple asked. Gan Liang said respectfully, sect leader Martial Sister knows this Qian Bei, he's the level 7 Pill King from Pill City, the number 1 in the Pill King tournament, Yi Qian Bei. After knowing that the Infinity sect attacked us, he came with me. It's really Pill King Qian Bei. The other Golden Core State level 6 youth also said in shock. Yimo didn't seem much older than them but was already a Pill King and could instantly kill 2 Hollow Spirit State primary stage cultivators. So strong. The Hollow Spirit State Elder exclaimed. He could tell that Yimo was only Hollow Spirit State level 1, yet he not only killed a Hollow Spirit State level 3 and 4 instantly but was fighting head-on with a Hollow Spirit State level 7. At this moment, the Hollow Spirit State level 7 released the dual-color primordial bag again and the black and red rays fused together, charging at Yimo. At the same time the Hollow Spirit State also charged at Yimo. He didn't use any magic artifact and just struck with his fist. It was just an ordinary punch, but Yimo felt the airflow around him grow chaotic. Instantly, that fist formed an almost 2-meter-long hammer. This wasn't just a fist or even an arm, this was a magic artifact, one that was on par with extreme-grade spirit artifacts. Yimo was shocked that a Hollow Spirit State cultivator could cultivate his own fist to such a terrifying extent. This wasn't just a fist or even an arm, this was a magic artifact, one that was on par with extreme-grade spirit artifacts. Yimo was shocked that a Hollow Spirit State cultivator could cultivate his own fist to such a terrifying extent. Although Yimo knew that he could stop this fist with his octagonal cauldron, he only controlled 3 layers of restrictions. Judging by the power of this fist, the concussion was enough to make him heavily injured again. In that instant, Yimo didn't think about how to stop this fist. Instead of thought of the Wu God chant. The Wu God chant was a body cultivation method. He robbed it from Pang Wei and gave it to Caiji. Then, he never thought about this body cultivation method again. He thought that if he cultivated the Wu God chant and his body was powerful too, would he be able to make a punch like that? However, Yimo knew that was impractical. He wanted to call back Zishu and block the fist with it, but in that instant, his connection with Zishu was lost. Before Yimo could think, that huge fist was before him. Yimo could only let the octagonal cauldron block it, but he was sent flying. Yimo spat blood while in the air and calmed down. He knew that this cultivator's power was on par with his. He just wanted to call back Zishu now. However, Zishu was being bound by the two rays that completely blocked off Yimo's spirit sense. The hollow spirit state cultivator seemed to know that Yimo wasn't able to call back Zishu and separated two more rays from the bag while punching again. Before the two rays neared Yimo, they were severed by Yimo's spirit sense sword, but even so Yimo felt his sea of consciousness shake. He felt threatened by the black and red rays. This time, Yimo didn't wait for him to punch out and used tens of spirit sense swords. This was the first time he used so many spirit sense strikes at once. His face immediately went pale. The red and black rays were dissipated by Yimo's spirit sense strike. Yimo waved his hand and Zishu flew back into his hands. The cultivator was shocked to see this, and before he could react, he felt pain in his sea of consciousness. He was certain now that Yimo had a spirit sense cultivation method, and an offensive one too. Before the cultivator could use the bag again, he hacked out with Zishu. The cultivator didn't waste time and punched while using the primordial bag. Zishu and the fist clashed together. However, the power of the strike wasn't fully activated. With a crack, something seemed to have been broken, and that hollow spirit state cultivator spat blood like crazy, flying back with a bloody fist. Even though the illusion cloud Hua mountain strike wasn't fully activated, it couldn't be blocked by a fist, even if the fist was on the level of an extreme grade spirit artifact. Yimo sneered and threw out a few formation flags. *rumble*, 6 black lightning bolts were released. Although there were just 6 in the first wave, there seemed to be countless afterwards. Before the first wave even struck, the second wave arrived. The lightning arcs weren't ordinary ones, they were like tiny lightning swords that would cause injury immediately. The hollow spirit state didn't expect Yimo had lightning-style attacks and was immediately struck by a few lightning arcs. "You're a lightning element cultivator. This is Lightning Cloud Sect's 11 lightning swords," the hollow spirit state said in shock. Yimo wasn't going to reply to this. He felt concerned about that bag and felt that this cultivator didn't even use its full power. If he did, Yimo would suffer greatly. So while the opponent was busy, Yimo used a spirit sense strike again to try to sever his control of the bag. But no matter what, the bag was still under his control. Yimo used spirit sense strikes repetitively and his sea of consciousness grew very tired. Seeing that it didn't work, he stopped using spirit sense strikes and hacked out with Zishu again. The lightning sword was powerful, but it was impractical to think of killing the opponent with it. The hollow spirit state tertiary stage was very shocked. Yimo was a pill king and had so many offensive means, with each one being extremely powerful. If things went on like this, he wouldn't be able to gain the upper hand at all. His fist was still injured. He knew how powerful his fist was. It was an extreme grade spirit artifact. With his powerful cultivation essence, even if a body condensation state cultivator was struck by his full-powered punch, he would be blown to pieces, but it was stopped by this guy's kitchen knife. He wanted to run. As long as he sent out the news, Yimo wouldn't be able to get away. He didn't need to fight himself. Thinking about running, he immediately took back that primordial bag. However, Yimo already sent out Shadowless. How could Yimo not be able to tell this cultivator wanted to run away? Shadowless, who had been lurking, charged out without hesitation while Zishu hacked out again. The illusion cloud Hua mountain strike was only enough to stop this cultivator for the blink of an eye, but that time was enough for Shadowless to ambush him. When he was ambushed by Shadowless, he immediately knew things weren't good. He enveloped Shadowless with his cultivation essence while punching again. His momentum weakened the moment he thought of running. Meanwhile, Yimo's Hua mountain strike relied on momentum and temperament. The weaker the opponent's momentum was, the more unstoppable Hua mountain strike was. Zishu clashed with his fist. His fist immediately split apart and the entire arm was blown to nothing. Even so, the hollow spirit state cultivator calmly used blood escape. This hollow spirit state level 1 was unimaginably powerful. He had never thought that a hollow spirit state level 1 would be this powerful. He wasn't even sure how many more cards Yimo had to play. He just wanted to run now. As long as he got away, there would be more powerful people from his sect coming to kill Yimo. With a thud, the hollow spirit state crashed into Yimo's formation. At the same time, Shadowless and Zishu attacked again. You're also a formation great master. Even in his death, this hollow spirit state didn't dare to believe that this guy was a pill king that fought this crazily and was also a formation great master. Yimo panted while collecting his formation flags. He also took the primordial bag to study. This hollow spirit state level 7 was really hard to kill. He almost got away. If he had, then the Infinity Sect would know he was here and would send masters to stop him. If it was body condensation state and above, there was no way for him to live. Yimo went on the unmanned flying ship of the Infinity Sect and waved to Gan Liang and them, "Put away that ship and come here." This was a low-grade cultivation artifact flying ship, while the Sword Valleys was just an extreme-grade spirit artifact. Luo Fei and the rest of the people watched in a daze as Yimo fought that hollow spirit state level 7 cultivator. They were all shocked by the endless amount of methods Yimo had, especially the hollow spirit state level 2 old man from Sword Valley. This was the first time he had seen a hollow spirit state level 1 powerful to this extent. He even killed a hollow spirit state level 7 and only paid the price of being injured. When Yimo called them over, they finally reacted. The old man put away the flying ship and the sect leader's body and came to the low-grade cultivation artifact flying ship. Luo Fei, sorry, I brought this disaster to you. Yimo saw that Luo Fei's eyes were red and she was unable to talk. City Lord Yi. Luo Fei called out and didn't know what to say. Yimo said guiltily, "Just call me Marshal Brother or Big Brother Yi. We're old friends too, I brought this disaster upon you." Yimo said guiltily, "Just call me Marshal Brother or Big Brother Yi. We're old friends too, I brought this disaster upon you." He then paused and asked, "Where did Yunzi go, do you know?" Luo Fei wiped her eyes. The sect was in a mess and the sect leader knew that we were no match for the Infinity Sect, so he told the sect members to scatter. Zi went missing. Yimo knew that in such a situation, there was no way to find out where Yunzi was. She might even have been killed. He didn't ask Luo Fei anymore. Regardless of whether or not she was killed, they were friends and she had to face this calamity due to him. Now, he was determined to annihilate the Infinity Sect. Luo Fei introduced a few more people to Yimo. It was that hollow spirit state level 2 old man. He was a forgery master of Sword Valley called Mi Zhenjie. The Golden Core State Level 6 youth was Miao Wuren and the Golden Core State Level 3 girl was Huang Lanlan. At the same time, he knew that Luo Fei was the current sect leader of Sword Valley. Yimo knew what the previous sect leader's intention was in passing the sect leader to Luo Fei, but he had made up his mind to help re-establish the Sword Valley. Yimo simply spirit controlled the flying ship and gave it to Mi Zhenjie to control. He changed the destination to Pill City. After a conversation, the two were feeling sentimental, but Yimo suddenly thought of something and his face changed drastically. "What is it, Big Brother Yi?" Luo Fei asked. She began to worry too, as her fate was joined together with Yimo's. If something happened to him, she wouldn't be better off as well. Since the Infinity Sect dares to go to Sword Valley and find you too, then they would go to Black Ice Sect to find Beiwei and Susu, Yimo said heavily. He subconsciously thought that since Black Ice Sect was a 9-star sect, ordinary people didn't dare to provoke them at all, but now he woke up after talking with Luo Fei for a while. Luo Fei realized this too and began to worry. She knew all too well what Sister Susu meant to Yimo. What if something happened to her? But then she knew that there was no point in worrying and could only comfort. Sister Susu is at Black Ice Sect. No matter how cocky they are, they wouldn't dare to do what they did to Sword Valley to Black Ice Sect. Yimo heard this and felt a little comforted, but then he said, "I'm going to see the Black Ice Sect. Susu and Beiwei don't have much support there. What if the Infinity Sect entices them with benefits or forces the Black Ice Sect? Who knows what could happen? I've heard that the Black Ice Sect has declined. They've only got one truth realization state cultivator and are just a little bit stronger than an 8-star sect." Ever since the Pill King tournament, the Black Ice Sect was nowhere to be seen and they didn't send people to him for pill concoction. This was a staying extra low-key. Yimo told Uncle Jie to change the direction to Black Ice Sect. After half a day, he heard a big laugh. Yimo was shaken. Who was this? That laugh was clearly very distant, but he heard it right next to his ear. A truth realization state cultivator. Yimo realized that it was at least a truth realization state cultivator who had laughed. Yimo broke out in a cold sweat. No matter how powerful he was only an insect to a truth realization state cultivator. Kid, I just went out for a spin and you were gone. You have your wife at home that you don't stay with and instead you're here looking for some fresh girls. You're indeed a playboy. However, Yimo breathed easy instead. An old man appeared before him. It was Earth Forgery God Lu Wu. Yimo wanted to laugh. He had looked for him a few times and he wasn't there. Now, he came to blame him. However, for a Qianbei master like him, Yimo had to pay his respects. Yimo greets Lu Qianbei. Yimo quickly got up and saluted with his fists. Haha, I never make losing deals. I know you're thinking about what you owe me. Don't worry, I'll let you pay me back today. Lu Wu said to Luo Fei, girl, go out for a while first. You can have fun with him later. Luo Fei blushed and said respectfully, Qianbei, you're kidding. Yimo is like a brother to Wenbei. Then she said, Wenbei will go for now. If it was someone that even Yimo respected a lot, he must not be ordinary. Luo Fei quickly left. Lu Wu clearly didn't care much about what Luo Fei said. He looked at Yimo and said, you've offended a lot of people. I went out searching for you but found a lot of bad people watching you. Yimo smiled calmly. Qianbei is right. Wenbei did indeed offend some people. Qianbei came from Pill City, I wonder. Lu Wu waved his hand, you don't need to ask, your wife is fine. She's Golden Core State peak stage now. It seems you have quite a lot of good stuff too. You went out for a spin and reached Hollow Spirit State power now. I've been invited by the Black Ice Sect, are you planning to go there too? Did you get invited too? Yimo rejoiced. He just wanted to go to Black Ice Sect and now Lu Wu was here, how convenient. Lu Wu made him owe him clearly because he needed his help. Yimo would be an idiot not to ask him for him help now. Yimo laughed. Yes, Qianbei, I was planning to go to Black Ice Sect, but I wasn't invited. Lu Wu said straightforwardly, Black Ice Sect is having a marriage alliance with Infinity Sect. They invited a lot of people and I was invited too. But other than this, there's something else important. That's why I came. He then drank a sip of wine gloatingly as though it was something honorable that he was invited but Yimo wasn't. But Yimo wasn't in the mood. His heart sunk after hearing Lu Wu's words. Without a doubt, it was Susu or Beiwei, but it was more likely to be Susu. Seeing that Yimo didn't talk, Lu Wu said, what, is it because the girl for marriage is South Peace State's #1 beauty so you're interested too? Don't worry, as long as you go you have an opportunity too. It was Susu indeed. Yimo wanted to fly to Black Ice Sect immediately, but he had to keep his calm. He asked respectfully, Qianbei, where is my opportunity? Wow, you're really into that girl? Not bad, that girl is indeed very pretty, you do match with her. Then, he suddenly stopped and laughed at Yimo, do you know you owe me one? Usually, Yimo would be speechless. This old man brought it up countless times, but now, he really wasn't in the mood. Seeing that Yimo didn't seem to be too happy, Lu Wu changed the topic. We'll talk about the debt later. I'll help you again. Originally, that girl didn't agree, but although she agreed later, she said that there had to be a fighting tournament to win her. The person who gets #1 on the stage can be her husband. You're Hollow Spirit State now, you have some chance. Yimo frowned and suddenly said, that's impossible. Why is it impossible? Lu Wu asked strangely. That girl wouldn't agree to this way of picking a husband, there must be some inside story. Yimo's tone was agitated. Lu Wu glanced at Yimo in surprise and suddenly said, do you know that girl too? Last time she came to Pill City, I didn't see you two being very close. I just saw you very close to your Shui wife. Susu came to Pill City last time? Yimo was dazed, was it not Susu? Yimo looked at Lu Wu in confusion, what is that girl's name from Black Ice Sect? Lu Wu glared at Yimo, when did I say the girl was from Black Ice Sect? She's from the Infinity Sect, called Wentsai. The Infinity Sect and Black Ice Sect were going to have a marriage alliance and that Wentsai girl said she wanted a powerful husband, so the genius disciples in Black Ice Sect have to contest. If you want to compete too, I can get you a spot. Same as last time, you owe me one again. Yimo breathed easy. He thought it was Susu, but it was actually Wen Tsai. He didn't care who Wen Tsai married at all. But then, Yimo thought it must be related to Susu. Susu probably rejected them, so they took out a genius disciple to give away first and then take Susu away. If that was the case, he had to go quickly. Yimo calmed down and quickly waved his hand. Qianbei, don't try to scam me anymore. I can't even fall asleep due to owing you already, and now you want me to owe you more. Yimo calmed down and quickly waved his hand. Qianbei, don't try to scam me anymore. I can't even fall asleep due to owing you already, and now you want me to owe you more. Okay. Lu Wu smiled and suddenly popped up to Yimo. If you're worrying about that debt, then how about I ask you something? If you reply, then you don't owe me anymore. How about it? That's simple. Yimo looked at Lu Wu in disbelief. Lu Wu was a Qianbei master, but from Jingingli, he knew that this guy didn't make losing deals. How could someone like him just ask one question? Lu Wu said casually, yeah, it's that simple. Okay, then ask, I'll listen carefully. As long as I know, I'll answer. If he could pay Lu Wu back this easily, he would rather owe him a few favors. Lu Wu thought casually with a sigh, it's really hard to ask a casual question. Should I ask how old you are? Or? Yimo glared his eyes in disbelief. It couldn't be that simple of a question. He quickly said, then ask how old I am, I'll tell you. Lu Wu suddenly stopped Yimo from talking and said, I suddenly thought of a question. You're a pill king, so you must know a lot. I saw a herb at my friend's place last time. It looks like a bamboo, but my friend says it's not. I'll draw it to you. Do you know it? Lu Wu took out a white blank paper and drew. A green bamboo plant appeared on the paper. Different than ordinary bamboo, the leaves were very big, many times bigger than ordinary bamboo leaves. The leaf shape was also crescent-shaped. Also, the leaves started appearing at the root area. Yimo immediately realized this was the bitter bamboo. This meant that Lu Wu knew he had the bitter bamboo. But then Yimo thought, this is impossible. If he knew that he had bitter bamboo, then he wouldn't need to act like that. Clearly he felt he didn't know the bitter bamboo, that's why he drew it. Plus, his bitter bamboo was in his golden page world. No matter how powerful Lu Wu, he wouldn't be able to reach his spirit sense into his golden page world. But why did Lu Wu ask this question? Seeing Yimo stare at it and not speak, Lu Wu asked worriedly, do you know this bamboo? Or have you seen it? Hearing this, Yimo realized that Lu Wu was sure he had seen the bitter bamboo and perhaps he had bitter bamboo kai on him. That's why he wanted to know the location of the bitter bamboo through him. The bitter bamboo wasn't just an extreme grade spirit item but also an utmost highest forgery material. It was no wonder that Lu Wu could feel the bitter bamboo kai. Yimo looked at it for a while and shook his head. I haven't seen this bamboo, it's very strange. It's like bamboo but not really. That's impossible. You must have seen it. Lu Wu called out immediately. Yimo shook his head again. Lu Qianbei, although I haven't seen this bamboo but I've seen this bamboo leaf. Really? Lu Wu immediately rejoiced and looked at Yimo fervently. Tell me, where is it? Yimo realized that Lu Wu knew he had seen the bitter bamboo from the kai on him. Bitter bamboo was too important to Yimo. Even if Lu Wu tried to rob it from him, he wasn't going to give it. But this Lu Wu really knew how to resist, and only asked now. Yimo took out the bitter bamboo leaf he used for his divine damnation and said, it's on me, have a look. Lu Wu grabbed it and said very excitedly, it's really bitter bamboo leaf, it really is. He just felt there seemed to bitter bamboo kai on Yimo, but he wasn't too sure. He didn't expect it to be real. He looked at the leaf again and again. His hands were shaking with excitement. Wait. Lu Wu suddenly said, there's no way you can take off the bitter bamboo leaf unless it has a master. But, how is that possible? Lu Wu then studied Yimo from head to toe again. Yimo was shook, he must not let this old guy see something. He suddenly thought, was he able to dig out the bitter bamboo because it approved of him as master? Yimo said, I picked up this leaf from the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds. There was a big black mountain and it was covered with black lightning. Ordinary people can't go up at all. I just walked past the bottom of the mountain. It was still very far from the actual mountain, and I picked up the leaf there. I felt this leaf was very nice, so I picked it up. Ever since then I've been cultivating while holding this leaf and it feels very good. So this is the bitter bamboo leaf? Lu Wu heard this and murmured, "It's really in the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds. There really is World Mountain there. That means the bitter bamboo is also there." Lu Wu looked at Yi Mo and said, "It's natural that you don't know this. This is an ancient thing. Although it has some benefits for your cultivation, it's limited. The main purpose is for forgery. But then again, your luck is insane. You can even encounter the bitter bamboo leaf. I've been to the Truthful Palace a few times. How come I haven't met the bitter bamboo?" 30 years later. Yi Mo was speechless. This old guy dared to trick him by saying that the bitter bamboo had no use for cultivation. But clearly, this guy would find someone to go look for it 30 years later. Unfortunately, the bitter bamboo was already sitting in the Golden Page world. Even if he could get it, could he afford to raise it? Can I make a deal with you? This bitter bamboo leaf is a good forgery item and I'm a forgery grandmaster, but about. Yi Mo looked at him in shock. "Qian Bei, you're not trying to rob me of this cultivation magical artifact, are you? I've already paid you back." Lu Wu felt a little awkward. He couldn't lower himself to rob it, but he didn't want to give up the bitter bamboo leaf he just got. "How about I get you a spot for the Black Ice Sect tournament?" "No, you don't need to compete. I will speak to the Infinity Sect leader and give that girl as your wife." Lu Wu patted his chest. Yi Mo wanted to laugh, but he pretended his heart was aching. "Since it's a forgery treasure, then I'll give it to you." Thank you, Pil King Yi." "No, brother Yi. We're brothers from now on," Lu Wu said happily as he took out a jade box about to place it in carefully. "Wait." Yi Mo stopped Lu Wu. Seeing that Lu Wu was a little worried, Yi Mo said, "Although bitter bamboo leaf is my best treasure, I'm willing to give it to Lu Qian Bei." "No, just call me brother Lu." "Who are we? Don't be so distant." Lu Wu quickly smiled. Yi Mo thought, "I didn't see you being so intimate right at the start," but he laughed and said, "In that case, brother Lu." Lu Wu then put the bitter bamboo away and waved his hand. "Then we don't need to be so distant with each other. Brother Lu, I have 3 things I need your help for," Yi Mo said without hesitation. "Say it. As long as brother can help, I will do it for sure." Lu Wu waved his hand. "Okay, first I want you to forge a magic artifact for me," Yi Mo said. "No worries. Second, if I have an opponent I can't beat, brother Lu can help me 20 times, 10 times is fine." "That's fine." Lu Wu just wanted to answer, but he immediately looked at Yi Mo. "Wait, I can't be your henchman." "Oh." Yi Mo didn't say anything. "Okay, I'll help you 3 times, and there are a few cultivation artifacts here, you can choose one." He took out a stack of cultivation artifacts. Yi Mo rejoiced and found a long sword there. He chose that long sword because it was the only top-grade cultivation artifact. "Okay, what's the last thing?" Lu Wu put them away and asked. Yi Mo smiled. "I want to bring 10 people here from North Far State." Lu Wu quickly waved his hand. "Impossible, even I can't do that. I can maybe do one, but 10 is definitely impossible. The cost of the teleportation formation from North Far State is too high. Don't even think about it. Change it to something else." Yi Mo also knew that was probably impossible, so he said, "Then I'll copy you, brother Lu. You owe me one too. I'll ask for it next time." The Black Ice Mountain was the location of the Black Ice Sect, and the Black Ice Peak was the main peak of Black Ice Mountain. Usually, no one could come here other than the peak leader and a few elders, but today, the formation was open and wave after wave of people came. The Black Ice Mountain was the location of the Black Ice Sect, and the Black Ice Peak was the main peak of Black Ice Mountain. Usually, no one could come here other than the peak leader and a few elders, but today, the formation was open and wave after wave of people came. When Yi Mo came to the Black Ice Sect, Lu Wu's name was of great use. Before Lu Wu even reported his name, the greeting sect member already recognized him and respectfully brought him into the guest hall. Yi Mo and them followed Lu Wu in and found that this hall was extremely huge. There was a large spacious area in the middle. At this moment, the hall was filled with cultivators. There were rows of seats on the left and right. In the front row all sat people with high status. Yimo didn't need to scan with spirit sense to know that all the people here were not at a lower cultivation level than him. There were many people whom Yimo knew, some were 8-star or 9-star sect leaders and elders. There were a few solo cultivators who were also famous. Yimo had met them all at the Pill City. Seeing these people come, Yimo had a bad feeling. Even if the Infinity Sect was going to have a marriage alliance with Black Ice Sect, they didn't need to create such a scene. Lu Qianbei. A lot of cultivators called out greetings when Lu Wu came. Yimo and them were ignored as they were thought to be followers of Lu Wu. A few cultivators who knew Lu Wu never had followers looked at Yimo carefully and realized how wrong they were. At this moment, the ushers arranged Lu Wu to sit at the front row and placed Yimo and them behind Lu Wu. Lu Wu just wanted to introduce Yimo, but he didn't need to anymore. More cultivators got up and walked to Yimo, greeting him. City Lord Yi. Pill King Yi. Brother Yi. Many people who didn't know Yimo all started asking around. Soon, everyone knew that this young man was the honorary city lord of Pill City and a level 7 Pill King. Knowing this, most sects came to greet Yimo, all except Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect. Haha, brother Yimo, if I knew you would come I would have come with you. Ji Ling's familiar voice made Yimo feel warm. Ji Ling was an honest person and a trustworthy friend. Yimo's respect for him far exceeded that for Lu Wu. The usher cultivator looked at Yimo in awkwardness and fright. Sorry, Pill King Yi, I'll arrange your seat for you again. That usher quickly brought Yimo to sit at the front row with Lu Wu. Those sitting in this row were either sect leaders or great masters. Yimo nodded but didn't sit down. He pointed at Luo Fei and said, "This is my friend Sword Valley's new sect leader, Goddess Luo." Luo Fei was shocked at how many Qianbeis and masters came to greet Yimo. She just now realized how high Yimo's status was. Silently, he had reached this level already. The usher just realized he ignored another important figure. Although Luo Fei looked weak, level 7 Pill King Yi introduced her and she came with Lu Wu as well. Clearly she wasn't simple. Mi Zhenxie from Sword Valley saw this and breathed easy. He didn't want the Sword Valley to lose face here. Seeing Yimo introducing Luo Fei to everyone, some people wanted to greet Luo Fei to get on Yimo's good side, but after they knew she was Sword Valley's sect leader, they all gave up on the idea. Less cultivators came to greet Yimo too. Sword Valley was annihilated by Infinity Sect. Everyone knew this. No one was going to offend the 9-star sect Infinity Sect for a foundation establishment state cultivator. Luo Fei sat with Yimo and Lu Wu at the front row. Mi Zhenxie, Gan Liang and them sat behind them. All the elders who greeted Yimo sat back, but Ji Ling was still talking to Yimo. Although they had discussed for an entire day last time, he still wasn't done. Brother Yi, you're really faster. You came out of solitary cultivation and you're a hollow spirit state cultivator, Ji Ling said. Yimo smiled and just wanted to explain when he heard a laugh. Welcome sect leaders, elders, and Qianbei masters. Black Ice Sect is honored to have you all here. An extremely handsome middle-aged man walked in with a smile. There were 6 people behind him, but the weakest was Cauldron Filling State. Sect leader Yang, you're too polite. Sect leader Yang. People greeted him. Yimo knew this handsome middle-aged man was the sect leader of Black Ice Sect, Yang Guan. He was at least disaster transformation state power. Usually, the sect leader didn't manage sect business, it was all managed by vice sect leaders. Vice sect leaders were usually weaker cultivators who had no hopes of breaking through. Yang Guan then walked up to Lu Wu and saluted with his fists. Wn Bei Yang Guan greets Lu Qianbei. Lu Wu smiled. The Black Ice Sect set up such a scene, it couldn't just be for a marriage competition, right? Qianbei, you're funny. Yang Guan laughed awkwardly and then walked up to Yimo and saluted with his fists. Pill City's Pill King Yi could come here, it's our great honor. Yimo smiled and stood up, saluting with his fists. Sect leader Yang, you're too kind, I heard about the good news here so I came with brother Lu to bring our cheer. At the same time, there are some private matters I wish to ask Black Ice Sect for help. Yang Guan heard Yimo called Lu Wu brother and was dazed. Since when were they brothers? But he immediately said, "Thank you Pil Kingi, no matter what it is, just say it. As long as we can help we won't reject. After this, please stay here at our sect for a few days." Yimo wanted to bring Susu and Beiwei, so of course he wasn't going to reject. He quickly saluted with his fists and thanked, "The Black Ice sect can definitely help with my business. By the way, I heard South Peace State 10 beauties Luo Susu and Tang Beiwei are both from your honorable sect." Yang Guan was dazed. He didn't expect someone as renowned as Yimo to straight up ask about the South Peace State 10 beauties. But he reacted soon. He heard that Pil Kingi took Ning Qingxue from the ethereal immortal pond at the tournament. Clearly, he loved beauty. Thinking about this, he smiled. "Yes, they are our 2 core sect members. I wonder how they are now?" Yimo asked. Yang Guan was more bewildered. Even he wouldn't constantly care about a core sect member. But now that Yimo asked, he could only reply, "Great, they're great. Haha, Brother Yang, long time no see." Another voice sounded outside the hall. Yang Guan heard it and immediately apologized to Yimo and greeted him. "This is Infinity Sect's sect leader, Yang Feiqing. The truth realization state cultivator behind him is He Ling." Mi Zhenjie gritted his teeth and said to Yimo. But as soon as he said this, a few eyes glanced over. Yimo knew that Mi Zhenjie's power was too low, there were too many powerful beings here and they heard his sound transmission. But Yimo didn't care. He nodded and didn't talk. Instead, he studied this Yang Feiqing guy. Many of Lightning Cloud Sect's people greeted him too. Yang Feiqing was also disaster transformation state level and seemed of similar age to Yang Guan, but Yimo felt this guy was much older than Yang Guan. He seemed amicable, but those eagle eyes already exposed the sort of person he was. Yimo felt a surprised look glance at him. It was Wen Tsai. Yimo took his eyes back, but Yang Feiqing glanced his eyes over at Yimo. Although it was seemingly casual, Yimo felt it was extremely cold. So powerful. Luckily he tricked Lu Wu here to his side, so Yimo wasn't scared of a fight. When everyone was seated, lush spirit fruit and wine was served. Yang Guan got up and saluted with his fists. "Everyone here are among the biggest Chen Beis and masters in our South Peace State. I thank everyone for being able to come. Other than the marriage of Infinity Sects Wen Tsai, there's something else very important." Yang Guan said slowly, "Many might have guessed that not far into the future, there will be some changes that will shake South Peace State and even the entire Luo Yu continent. Although we don't know what it is yet, we've set up the teleportation formation connecting the 2 states." Yang Guan said slowly, "Many might have guessed that not far into the future, there will be some changes that will shake South Peace State and even the entire Luo Yu continent. Although we don't know what it is yet, we've set up the teleportation formation connecting the 2 states." Then, Yang Guan looked at Yang Feiqing. "Thank you Infinity Sect's sect leader for increasing the relationship between us and being willing to marry Wen Tsai goddess into our sect. Using this opportunity, I would like to announce something to everyone. In order to prevent something really happening to the South Peace State cultivation world, sect leader Yang and I propose to create a South Peace State sect alliance." Many people started discussing. They realized what this was. Almost all the 7-star and above sects were invited. Although some sects' high-level members weren't here, they'd sent representatives. The 9-star sects were fine, but some small sects began to worry. If they didn't join this alliance, would they be suppressed by 9-star sects just like Sword Valley? Sword Valley was an ancient sect and a 7-star sect, but Infinity Sect just annihilated on a whim. I agree with sect leader Yang and sect leader Yang's idea. After we build the South Alliance, it would gather the strength of us South Peace State cultivators and weld the sects together in case of sudden incidents. This would benefit all South Peace State sects. A Lightning Cloud sect old man got up and said. Yimo looked at this old man. He was disaster transformation state peak stage and could reach truth realization state at any time. We from Eternity Sea sect also agree. We from Earth Demon sect also agree. Some 7-star and 8-star sect didn't know what to do anymore upon seeing that some sects began supporting this. Who knew if they would be controlled after joining this alliance? No sect wanted to be ruled by someone else, especially in the cultivation realm that valued freedom. But 3 9-star sects had already agreed. Even if some sects didn't agree, no one dared to disobey. Yimo looked at Earth Demon sect strangely. Wasn't that sect only 6-star? How were they here too? The lowest standard here was to be a 7-star sect. Yimo had a bad feeling. He also killed Wu Yu from Eternity Sea sect, but only Yi Pandai knew about it. She wouldn't betray him. Seeing that more sects were going to support this, Yimo got up and smiled. Haha, today's really a good day. This was a serious topic, but Yimo smiling ruined that serious atmosphere. If someone else did this, even if the 9-star sects didn't reproach them, their 7 and 8-star sects would come say something. But it was Yimo and no one dared to do this. After all, his other identity was Pill City's honorary Vice City Lord. Pill City was the only 10-star power, no one dared to touch that. Haha, Pill Kingy is right, today is indeed a good day. Yang Guan smiled. Yang Feiqing and Lightning Cloud Sect's sect leader Wang Chuanha's face were green with anger, but even they didn't dare to openly attack Yimo. Now that they hadn't brought the conflict to the surface, Yimo couldn't use Pill City to fight them. But if they brought things to the surface, who knows what the 2 Pill City City Lords would do? The Pill City's power wasn't just a few truth realization state elders and the 2 City Lord that they showed. Their real power was invisible. Otherwise, they wouldn't be renowned as the only 10-star city. Yimo smiled and saluted with his fists to Yang Guan. Today's a great day because it's the day Goddess Wen chooses a husband. This is the good news, the proper business. After the proper business is over, the rest of Qian Beis here can discuss about other big things. Otherwise, someone like me who only likes small business and paparazzi will fall asleep listening to such big news. It's really unbearable. I've long admired Goddess Wen's big name, so I came to see Goddess Wen today. Sect leader Yang, there are quite some people like me, shouldn't you finish the proper business first? If someone else said something as absurd as this, Yang Guan would have dragged him out already, but he could only smile at this Pill City Honor Vice City Lord. Pill Kingy is right. Sect leader Yang and sect leader Wang, what do you think? Yang Feiqing's eyes were ice cold. In his eyes, Yimo was a dead man. Even if he couldn't kill him here, since he dared to come to Black Ice Mountain, then don't blame him for attacking. He just didn't expect Yimo to suddenly appear here and foil his plan. Some 7 and 8-star sect core sect members were discussing how bold this Pill Kingy was, overtly rebuking the decision of 3 9-star sect leaders, and no one dared to reject. Those who didn't want to join the South Alliance were all grateful to Yimo. Yimo did something they didn't dare to do. Yang Feiqing said calmly, does Pill Kingy not think something that concerns our entire South Peace State cultivation world is not a big matter? Or does Pill Kingy not care about the safety of our South Peace State cultivation world? Yimo clapped twice and laughed. Old brother, well said. I'm an idiot. The safety of South Peace State have powerful beings like you to take care of it. But you're right, I really don't care. Your South Alliance, I don't want to join and nor do I want to waste time here. So, Goddess Wen's business is big business to me. You. Yang Feiqing's face was green but he didn't dare to do anything to Yimo. I agree to City Lord Yi's words. As for the South Alliance, those sects willing to join can discuss with each other. We from Abstruse Sound sect don't wish to join, a middle-aged woman saluted with her fists and said. I agree with Abstruse Sound sect's elder Fu regarding the South Alliance. I think even if there's to be an alliance, it needs to be discussed with the Pill City City Lord. Pill City is a 10-star sect, yet they don't even know about this. Clearly, this thing isn't planned well. Our Clear Dream Mosque won't participate for now, an old nun from Clear Dream Mosque said. We from Godwind Valley agree with City Lord Yi, another representative got up. We from Heavenstar sect agree with City Lord Yi. Ethereal Immortal Pond. Seeing more and more people agree with Yimo, the Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect leaders' faces looked worse and worse. Even Yang Guan felt things weren't right. He didn't know about Infinity Sect and Yimo, so he accepted when Infinity Sect came to show goodwill. Now it seemed that there was great conflict between Infinity Sect and City Lord Yi. If that was the case, he really needed to reconsider. From what the audience showed, City Lord Yi had great respect and the support of many 9-star sects. Thinking about how Yi Mo was also brothers with Lu Wu, Yang Guan felt things were going the wrong direction. Haha, okay, I agree to City Lord Yi's proposal, we'll discuss the alliance later. All the guests are here today for our Black Ice sect's marriage, how can we delay that? It's my fault, Yang Guan immediately said. Yang Feiqing also immediately got up and smiled. City Lord Yi is right, today is the day of marriage after all. It's the bliss of Wen Tsai and our sect that she's marrying into Black Ice sect. So today, I'm going to add bliss on top of bliss, I need to request sect leader for something else. Yang Guan breathed easy seeing that Yang Feiqing put the alliance matter aside. I heard that Black Ice sect's Black Cloud Peak core disciple Luo Susu is both talented and beautiful, ranked as number 1 in South Peace State 10 beauties with Tsai. Our Infinity sect's core disciple Dong Tianya is also a talented genius. So we've brought 1 low-grade spirit artifact and a truth spirit pill as a wedding gift, hoping to form this marriage. People immediately broke into discussion. They were astounded that the Infinity sect was willing to pay so much. Yi Mo sneered, this old man really dared to do such a thing, luckily he came today. Yi Mo sneered, this old man really dared to do such a thing, luckily he came today. Yang Guan was also dazed. He didn't expect Infinity sect's Yang Feiqing to offer such good terms. The truth realization pill was something very rare, at least Black Ice sect didn't have it. Even other 9-star sects wouldn't have too many, at most 1 or 2. Most of the truth realization state cultivators were ancient beings except for an extremely few new ones. The truth realization pill was the only pill that could give disaster transformation state cultivators an extra 20% chance of reaching truth realization state. This was something that even spirit stones couldn't buy. Even 9-star sects wouldn't easily use truth realization pills as this was the future of the sect. Yet, the Infinity sect took out a truth realization pill and another low-grade spirit range. He was disaster transformation state peak stage and he needed the truth realization pill the most. Most of the disaster transformation state cultivators on Luo Yu continent relied on truth realization pills to reach truth realization state. Only a few rare ones could use other means to reach truth realization state. Most stayed in disaster transformation state forever. Yang Guan's hands were shaky. He wanted to say something but Yi Mo knew things weren't good, so he quickly stood up and said coldly to Yang Feiqing, sorry then, sect leader Yang, Luo Susu is my wife. Tang Beiwei is my sister. I came to pick them up today, you can take back your shitty schemes. Yang Feiqing sneered but ignored Yi Mo and looked at Yang Guan. Clearly, he meant that Yi Mo was intentionally trying to start problems with him. This was not only being disrespectful to Infinity sect but also Black Ice sect. Yi Mo knew that this wasn't the best time to bring this up, but he had to. The bastard Yang Feiqing was too sinister, how dare he scheme for Susu? Yi Mo cursed that his power was so low. If he was truth realization state he would have already fought Yang Feiqing. He had no reason to tolerate schemes for Susu, but he had to. Indeed Yuan Guan's face sunk down, he had been really polite with Yi Mo, but now Yi Mo's actions clearly made it seem that he didn't take Black Ice sect seriously and didn't care about Luo Susu's reputation. He looked at Yi Mo coldly and said, City Lord Yi, although you're the Vice City Lord of Pill City, we, Black Ice sect, are a 9-star sect too. Not anyone can do what they like, aren't your words over the top? Even though Yang Guan was furious, he had to control his words. Insolent brat, how dare you insult my disciple? Is a mere level 7 pill king very significant? I'm going to slice you. The old female cultivator behind Yang Guan rose up furiously but was stopped by another Black Ice sect cauldron filling state cultivator. No matter what, clearly it wasn't good to attack Yi Mo here. Yi Mo looked at that old woman, she was cauldron filling state. He didn't expect this old woman to be Susu's master. He heard Qingxue say that Susu's master is very nice to Susu, so he wasn't angry. Even some other sect leaders and cultivators felt Yi Mo was crossing the line. Everyone knew that Yi Mo had ninged Qingxue. His previous words with Infinity sect's sect leader clearly meant that there was conflict between them. Now that Infinity sect took out a marriage gift to propose to Luo Susu, He immediately came out and said Susu was his wife. How could there be such a coincidence in the world? But because Yimo helped them a lot by saying what they didn't dare to say, no one said anything. But one elder from Lightning Cloud sect sneered, "The Pill City honorary city lord is indeed arrogant, marrying whomever he wants. Who dares to disobey him?" How could Yimo not tell that this elder was trying to start trouble? However, he ignored him. He walked to Yang Guan and bowed before saying politely, "Sect leader Yang, this must be Susu's master, you're Yimo's Qianbei as well. I wasn't invited to Black Ice sect this time and I believe you guys know that. But WN Bei indeed came to pick up my wife Susu and my sister Beiwei. If you don't believe me, you can bring them here to ask them." Yang Guan and the female cultivator were dazed, they could tell Yimo was being genuine. But this was too coincidental. Other sect cultivators also looked at Yimo in confusion. Even they weren't sure if Yimo was telling the truth. Many people felt Yimo wasn't lying as this was too easy to prove. They only had to ask Luo Susu or Tang Beiwei. When Tsai clenched her fists and stared at Yimo. She didn't doubt at all that Susu was Yimo's wife. When Tsai thought of her oath, no matter who Luo Susu's husband was, she would rob him from her and then kick him back. In reality, Luo Susu's husband was indeed a dragon amongst men. He was so young and already a level 7 pill king. She couldn't even see his power level. "Yimo, do you think that you can do whatever you want as an honorary city lord of Pill City? How can there be such a coincidence in the world? He Ling, will kill you here today, so what?" A grey-robed old man formed a huge cultivation essence hand and wanted to kill Yimo on the spot. No one expected He Ling really dared to do this. Yang Guan cursed, Black Ice sect only had one truth realization state Grand Elder, but that elder wasn't here. There was no way to stop it. Many cultivators greeted Yimo before, but no one was willing to help Yimo stop this. Ji Ling quickly got up and said, "He Qianbei, wait." But He Ling didn't seem to hear it and reached the cultivation essence huge hand over. A hollow spirit state cultivator really couldn't do anything against a truth realization state cultivator. Yimo smiled and said, "Old Lu, someone really doesn't take me seriously and dares to attack. Chop off his claw and let's serve it for our first wine today." Everyone heard this and was dazed. What did Yimo mean? Only Lu Wu understood what Yimo meant. First wine meant his first time attacking for him. Lu Wu didn't even care about 9-star sect, he cared about when Yimo asked him to attack the 3 times. To him, the earlier the better. He was all too happy that Yimo asked for his help. Without hesitation, he also reached out a giant hand of cultivation essence. Lu Wu had been in truth realization state for countless years and was the pinnacle being. He Ling was only a truth realization state primary stage cultivator. He was a far cry from Lu Wu. Thud He Ling's cultivation essence giant hand was instantly crippled. At the same time, he spat blood. In just one move, he was injured. One could see how powerful Lu Wu was. Luckily Lu Wu knew that he was a 9-star sect Grand Elder and didn't really cut his hand off. "Lu Qianbei, what do you mean by this?" Yang Feicheng's face changed. If Lu Wu helped Yimo, they wouldn't be able to kill Yimo even after he left Black Ice sect, much less now. Lu Wu said lazily, "Why do I need to tell you? How dare you attack my brother in front of me? Are you asking to die? This is a warning, the next time won't be so simple. I won't joke with you guys." Everyone instantly froze. Yimo called Lu Wu Old Lu and with one word Lu Wu attacked for him. Even Yu Chichao had to call Lu Wu Qianbei. With such powerful support, who dared to attack Yimo? Yang Guan sweated cold. If Fan Yizhu really attacked Yimo, then they would have been finished. Susu is our Black Ice Sect's sect member, my personal disciple. Even the Infinity Sect's sect leader brought wedding gifts and personally came to propose. Pill King Yi, do you think just because you're from Pill City, you can forcefully take away my Black Ice sect member? The old female cultivator asked. Susu is our Black Ice Sect's sect member, my personal disciple. Even the Infinity Sect's sect leader brought wedding gifts and personally came to propose. Pill King Yi, do you think just because you're from Pill City, you can forcefully take away my Black Ice sect member? the old female cultivator asked. She then looked around and saluted with her fists. Our Black Ice sect isn't as powerful as Pill City, but we're still a 9-star sect. No one can abuse us like this. I don't care what Susu's identity in the mortal world was, but she's my personal disciple now. She will marry whom I want her to marry. No one can force me. Otherwise, even if I die, I will maintain the authority of the Black Ice sect. Everyone could tell that Fan Lianju's words meant that she already believed Susu was Yimo's wife, but she still dominantly believed that Yimo had no right to take away Susu from Black Ice sect. Yimo had some good impression of Susu's master originally, but now that he heard this, he was furious. He got up and said coldly, I called you Qianbei because you're Susu's master, don't think you're anything special. Susu is indeed your disciple and I'm grateful you took care of her, but she didn't sell herself to you. You have no right to decide what she wants to do. That's Susu's own decision to make. You. Fan Lianza's face was green with anger. In the cultivation realm, the respect for masters was the utmost highest. Yimo said he was Susu's husband but now spoke to her like this. She almost spat blood. Yang Guan quickly got up and said, City Lord Yi, I believe your words too. We'll ask Beiwei later and we'll know. But you also know that when Susu came into our sect, she hadn't established her foundation yet. She was just with a few mortal girls. According to the rules of our cultivation realm, coming into this cultivation realm is severing off your ties to the mortal realm. Everything in the past has nothing to do with her. Yimo's face sunk and said coldly, so sect leader Yang means that Susu has nothing to do with me now? As for what she thinks herself, you don't need to consider, is that right? Yang Guan stuttered. If someone else said this, he would immediately rebut, so what? But he didn't dare to say that to Yimo. Yimo had Lu Wu next to him and there was Pill City supporting him. And Abstruse Sound Sect as well as Clear Dream Mosque also seemed to be supporting him. But Lightning Cloud Sect's sect leader Wang Chuanhe got up and said, City Lord Yi, according to the rules of the cultivation realm, after Luo Susu entered the Black Ice sect, she indeed severed off her mortal ties. Even if she was related to City Lord Yi in the past, that's the past. And the number one important thing for us cultivators after entering a sect is respecting our masters. Elder Fan is Luo Susu's master, she does have the right to make Susu listen to her. Does City Lord Yi think you can forcefully change the rules of the cultivation realm just because you're Pill City's honorary city lord? Wang Chuanhe was mocking Yimo as even if the two city lords of Pill City were here, they wouldn't be able to change that rule. Even though this rule now was just for show and many disciples still returned home after cultivation and no one would care, this rule did indeed exist. Yimo was furious, these guys dared to say this because his power was weak. If he was a truth realization state cultivator, who would dare to say that? Lu Wu could protect him, but he wouldn't go challenge 9-star sects. Pill City was on his side, but that rule was just. Although it didn't make sense, it meant that they had reason on their side. If Yimo forcefully pushed this rule away, even the Pill City wouldn't be able to find a good excuse to help him. Lu Wu didn't care about this at all. Although he was with Yimo, his relationship with him was far from what other people thought. He just wanted to return Yimo's favor as quickly as possible or there would be confinements for his cultivation. Thus, he didn't help Yimo say anything at all. Luo Fei was very worried but her power was too low and wasn't able to say anything for Yimo. Jiling was too honest and didn't know what to say. In that moment, Yimo was all by himself. Yimo's heart sunk. He knew he had to have a reason to take Susu away. If his power was strong enough, he would just say, I'm going to break this rule, what are you going to do? However, his power wasn't enough to say that. Seeing the situation go into a stalemate, a middle-aged man-woman got up and said, Elder Fan is right and sect leader Wang is also right, but since sect leader Yang can propose to Black Ice sect, so can sect leader Yi. This at least helped Yimo break the stalemate. Yimo was grateful to this beautiful woman. He heard Mi Zhenjia's sound transmission to him that this woman was 9-star sect Heaven Demon sect's Elder Le Yarrow, cauldron-filling state. Yimo gave her a grateful look but before Yimo said anything that Elder Fan's words almost angered Yimo to attack right on the spot. Heaven Demon sect's Elder Le is right, Now that sect leader Yang brought such a generous proposal gift, I've decided to marry my disciple Luo Susu into Infinity Sect. Bullshit. Yimo couldn't resist the anger anymore and pointed at Fan Lianzhu, cursing. What? City Lord Yi, are you going to take away Susu by force? Then I'll tell you that sect leader Yang's proposal gift isn't something other people can bring out. City Lord Yi, although you're a pill king, but can you concoct the truth realization pill? So give up. Lightning Cloud Sect's Wang Chuanhe said calmly. He wanted to make Yimo more angry but Yimo calmed down instead. He knew his downsides. He looked glorious on the surface, but he didn't have any bargaining chips except for Lu Wu helping him twice. Yimo suddenly sat down and said calmly, Sect leader Wang and Elder Fan, according to your words, Susu should completely listen to Black Ice Sect and not be able to make any of her own decisions. Of course, we cultivators should respect our masters. How can the disciple not listen to the master? Wang Chuanhe repeated. But unexpectedly, Yimo looked at Lu Wu. Brother Lu, so you tricked me before? Lu Wu looked at Yimo in confusion. How did I trick you? Yimo said calmly, didn't you say that Infinity Sect's goddess when wasn't happy with the husband her sect arranged for her, so she would choose a husband through competition? But I just heard sect leader Wang say that she doesn't have any right to make that proposal. Even if the Infinity Sect makes her marry a dog, it seems she just has to agree. But you told a different story. Isn't this tricking me? Lu Wu immediately understood Yimo. He glared at Infinity Sect Yang Feiqing and Black Ice Sect Yang Guan, saying coldly, so the two sect leaders are here to play a joke on me. The initiation given to me clearly says that goddess Wen is choosing her husband herself. How is it now that she has no right to choose? Do you think I'm easy to pick on? Yang Guan quickly saluted with his fists. Lu Qianbei, you've misunderstood. No matter what, we wouldn't trick Lu Qianbei. Goddess Wen can indeed choose her own husband. Yang Guan didn't want to say it, but he had to. If he angered Lu Wu, even if he couldn't annihilate the entire sect by himself, he could cause a massive slaughter here. Oh, then I thought too much. Lu Wu nodded. He knew that was already enough to help Yimo. Yimo sneered. So goddess Wen can choose her husband but Luo Susu can't. Is it because Black Ice Sect isn't as powerful as Infinity Sect, or is goddess Wen prettier than Luo Susu? Or is it that Susu is my wife and I'm the Vice City Lord of Pill City and the Black Ice Sect looks down on Pill City? Those sects supporting Yimo praised his retaliation. Hearing this, Yang Guan and Fan Lianzhu's faces looked really bad. After no one spoke for a long time, Yimo suddenly slammed the table. So the Black Ice Sect thinks the Pill City is easy to abuse? Speaking such bullshit. Brother Lu, lend me a messenger flying sword. I need to message City Lord Yu. Our Pill City has fallen to such a level. Wait, City Lord Yi, I think there's a misunderstanding. Black Ice Sect is a 9-star sect. How can we force Susu to do something that she doesn't want? We'll call Susu up later and let her choose herself. Elder Fans just saying angry words. Don't think too much of it, City Lord Yi. Wait, City Lord Yi, I think there's a misunderstanding. Black Ice Sect is a 9-star sect. How can we force Susu to do something that she doesn't want? We'll call Susu up later and let her choose herself. Elder Fans just saying angry words. Don't think too much of it, City Lord Yi. Yang Guan then looked at Susu's master. Elder Fan, why don't you call Luo Susu here? We can use this opportunity to find a good home for her. Yang Guan was a bit scared. If Yu Chichao was brought here too, then things wouldn't be so easy. To be honest, if Fan Lianzhu wasn't domineeringly fighting against Yimo, he didn't want to have conflicts with Yimo. Yimo was such a young level 7 Pill King and the Vice City Lord of Pill City. His future was limitless. Why would he have conflict with such a person? Although the Infinity Sect's proposal gift was enticing, Yimo's origin was big too. Yimo wasn't simple himself. It was good if Susu could marry Yimo. But Fan Lianzhu's personality was too straightforward and created this awkward situation. Fan Lianzhu also seemed to know that her words weren't appropriate before. Yimo was young and weak, but his background was too strong. The Black Ice Sect indeed couldn't offend him. She didn't like Yimo but didn't say anything. Now that Yang Guan asked about Luo Susu, she could only say, Susu is still in solitary cultivation, she hasn't finished yet. Yang Guan breathed easy and laughed. In that case, let's put this thing aside and watch the battle of the young prodigies of our sect. Our sect members can also get a chance of receiving a few pointers from the many Qian Beis here. When Tsai looked at Yi Mo and flames almost spewed out of her eyes. There was no way she wasn't jealous of Susu having such a genius husband, but Yi Mo talking about her marrying a dog made her angry and embarrassed. She wanted to kill Yi Mo. Yang Feiqing knew that in this situation, it was impossible to forcefully take away Luo Susu, so he could only say coldly, City Lord Yi is right and we should indeed consider Luo Susu's opinion, but we've already brought our proposal gift. How come I don't see City Lord Yi's proposal gift? Plus, even if you took out your proposal gift now, we, Infinity Sect, brought it up first. Are you trying to go against the Infinity Sect intentionally? Yeah, he's already Vice City Lord of Pill City, of course he needs to fight with us 9-star sect. Otherwise, how come you just mentioned this, Sect Leader Yang, and then Pill King Yi mentioned it too? Lightning Cloud Sect's Sect Leader Wang Chuanhe said. Haha. Yi Mo laughed. Sect Leader Yang, you're right. How come I just mentioned to Sect Leader Yang of Black Ice Sect about Susu and you intervened? Oh, if you don't believe me, you can ask Sect Leader Yang who asked about Susu first. Seeing everyone look at him, Yang Guan was annoyed at Yang Feiqing looking for trouble, but he couldn't lie so he could only nod. When City Lord Yi first saw me, he indeed mentioned Susu. Hearing this, everyone looked at Yang Feiqing. Many people realized that it wasn't Yi Mo looking for trouble but Yang Feiqing. Many people knew about the conflict between Yi Mo and Lightning Cloud Sect and now they wondered since when did Yi Mo become enemies with the Infinity Sect. This City Lord Yi's trouble-causing capabilities were on par with his pill concoction abilities. Yang Feiqing's face sunk. What is City Lord Yi's proposal gift? Yi Mo smiled calmly. I've only been in pill concoction for 10 years and I'm already a level 7 pill king. If I say I will become level 9 pill king in 10 years, I don't think anyone would doubt me. Everyone was silent at these words as they all knew Yi Mo wasn't lying. The hardest breakthrough wasn't level 7 to level 9 but level 3 to level 4 and level 6 to level 7. Yi Mo was a level 7 pill king now, so reaching level 9 was just a matter of time. Other people may take thousands of years to do this but Yi Mo was an anomaly. So what? At least you're not a level 9 pill king now, an Earth Demon Sect elder stood up and said. Yi Mo sneered, what thing are you? Do you have the right to talk when I'm speak? Piss off. You. The elder's face was green, but he really couldn't say anything. Although they were just a 6-star sect, they were invited here by Infinity Sect. This place Wansti Pill City, yet Yi Mo was being so cocky, even telling him to piss off. Even Yang Guan's face changed. This wasn't just slapping Earth Demon Sect's face but also Black Ice Sect's face. This was on their land. Yi Mo saw that Yang Guan was going to speak but he immediately said to Lu Wu, Brother Lu, another fly here, throw him out please. We can drink again. Lu Wu was hoping for this. After this, it would mean he only needed to help Yi Mo attack one more time. Then he only owed Yi Mo one favor. Lu Wu reached out a cultivation essence giant hand and grabbed that elder, throwing him off Black Ice Peak. Yang Guan ate the words he was going to say. His face was red with anger but he could only hold it in. But Yi Mo saluted with his fists to Yang Guan. Sorry Sect Leader Yang, I was too impulsive just then. Please forgive me, after this, I will apologize to Sect Leader Yang. Yang Guan waved his hand and said, You're being too polite, City Lord Yi. Yang Guan could only suck it up, and Yi Mo apologized too. City Lord Yi is so domineering, he just said one thing and you threw him out. This is indeed the character of the Pill City. Yang Feiqing was shaking with anger, but there was nothing he could do. Yi Mo looked at him and smiled. Does Sect Leader Yang feel the air is too stuffy here as well? Lu Wu's eyes lit up immediately hearing this. He hoped Yi Mo would say to throw Yang Feiqing out as well. Yang Feiqing was disaster transformation state power, but facing truth realization state middle stage peak Lu Wu, he could put up no resistance. Lu Wu was a madman, no one dared to mess with him, but this madman was currently Yi Mo's henchman. If he really got thrown out, he would be done for. Infinity sect would decline from this and he might as well die. He just sneered and didn't say anything. Yimo smiled and continued, "By the way, where were we? I forgot, a fly just flew out." He was just threatening Yang Feicheng. He didn't dare to really throw him out. Lu Wu only had one more time of attacking for him, but even if there were countless times, he couldn't force Infinity sect to the edge of the cliff right now. If he really pissed off a 9-star sect, and they killed him now, would the Pill City get revenge for a dead Pill King? They would at most just kill the main culprit. They wouldn't fight a 9-star sect to the death. You said just then you would become a level 9 Pill King 10 years later. That Heaven Demon sect's woman smiled and reminded Yimo. Yimo smiled and saluted with his fists. "Thanks for your reminder, sister. Next time I will concoct pills for you for free." The woman just didn't like the Infinity sect and Lightning Cloud sect forming the South Alliance. Yimo said the words she wanted to say and she was grateful to Yimo. Thus, she helped Yimo too, but because of that, she got such a huge reward. She was overjoyed. She immediately got up and said to Yimo, "Le Yarrow thanks City Lord Yi, please come be a guest at our sect when you have time. We will pour flowers to welcome you." Other sect cultivators looked at Le Yarrow in envy. If they knew this earlier, they would have done the same. But some sects didn't think like that. Sword Valley was just annihilated. Only Le Yarrow dared to help Yimo as she was also from a 9-star sect. Other sect cultivators looked at Le Yarrow in envy. If they knew this earlier, they would have done the same. But some sects didn't think like that. Sword Valley was just annihilated. Only Le Yarrow dared to help Yimo as she was also from a 9-star sect. Yimo then said, "After I become a level 9 Pill King 10 years later, I can help Black Ice sect concoct 2 cauldrons of truth realization pills. I believe Black Ice sect can afford these 10 years, right? That's just a part of the proposal gift. Second is that I can give the concoction method of spirit weaving pill to Black Ice sect's pill master, and I can even provide Heaven Glory pills to Black Ice sect with priority. As for spirit ranges, if Black Ice sect wants some I can go borrow a few." Everyone gasped for breath. It seemed that Yimo was bluffing when he said he would borrow a few spirit ranges, but it was very simple. With his support from Pill City, it was very easy to take out a few low-grade spirit ranges from Pill City. Yimo's proposal gift was countless times better than Infinity sect's. Infinity sect took out just one spirit range, but Yimo took out a spirit weaving pill recipe. This recipe was enough for Black Ice sect to benefit immeasurably. It was like the difference of giving people money and teaching them how to make money. The Infinity sect elder sneered, "It's all hollow." Yimo smiled and didn't say anything. He believed Black Ice sect's sect leader wasn't dumb. Hearing this, even Yang Guan took a cold breath in. He didn't believe Yimo was bullshitting. Even if Yimo couldn't become a level 9 Pill King 10 years later, he could concoct body condensation state to cauldron filling state pill Kuan filling pills. Even a few cauldrons of that was enough for Black Ice sect. It was uncertain if the truth realization pill from Infinity sect would create a truth realization state cultivator, but Yimo could bring a constant supply of pills. It was easy to judge which was better. The Infinity sect elder saw Yang Guan's face and knew that their gift had lost. Before Yang Guan said anything, he quickly said, "In that case, we'll fight to be her husband like for Wen Tsai." Yimo sneered. When Tsai chose that method herself, Luo Susu didn't bring that up. "You have no right to say that, only Susu can decide." Now that both sides provided proposal gifts, Yang Guan preferred Yimo's proposal gift more. He wasn't able to reach disaster transformation state peak stage and his divine damnation would be ready in a short time. Yimo's timing of 10 years later was perfect. Even if he wasn't able to concoct it, he could ask some Pill City Pill King Qian Bei to do this. Yang Guan didn't doubt that at all. But Infinity sect was also a 9-star sect whose power was much stronger than Black Ice sect. It wasn't good to offend them as well. Yang Guan looked around and knew that only he could make up the mind. He quickly looked at Fan Lianzhu and said, "Elder Fan, how about you call Luo Susu over here?" Fan Lianzhu said stubbornly, "Susu is in solitary cultivation, she can't be disturbed. She's my disciple, I don't want my disciple to marry an useless person. We'll do as Infinity sect proposed, fight to be the husband. If Wen Sai can choose that, why can't Susu? I'm sure that even if Susu leaves solitary cultivation, she wouldn't reject. She then looked at Yi Mo plainly. City Lord Yi, you're some significant figure, right? I don't think you would be scared to fight for Susu. She was very annoyed and angry at Yi Mo being disrespectful to her. She was a genius-like person as well. Even those with higher power than her would call her elder, and she was now the peak leader of Black Cloud Peak. Since when did someone say bullshit to her? She didn't want Susu to marry someone like this. Last time, when Sai said that she wanted her husband to be a worldly prodigy, so she chose this method of finding a husband. My disciple Susu is equally ranked first with her. I don't think City Lord Yi would think Susu is not as good Sai, so you don't dare to fight over her? Fan Lianzhu asked, fearing that Yi Mo wouldn't agree. She didn't dare to be domineering anymore. Even Infinity Sect was unable to do anything the hard way, so she could only play with words. Of course Yi Mo wouldn't think Susu wasn't as good as Wen Sai, but he sneered, whether or not I'm useless, people can discuss themselves. No matter how much I say myself, it's just boasting. Even in fighting, I'm no weaker than anyone. But I'm only Hollow Spirit State Level 1. Are you going to call an ancient being to fight me? Don't worry, those fighting you won't be much older than you. Susu is my disciple, I won't let her marry an old man. You're not the only genius on Luoyu continent, there will be plenty. Same rules as Wen Sai's rules, they'll all be geniuses within 60 years of age, Fan Lianzhu said coldly. Yi Mo didn't argue. Although 60 was quite old to Yi Mo, in the cultivation realm it was just the beginning. He believed that if he couldn't even beat a cultivator younger than 60, the three-birth chant wasn't deserving of its name. He wasn't sure if there were body condensation state cultivators under 60 years of age, but there were definitely hollow spirit state tertiary stage cultivators. Jing Yingli was only 30 and already hollow spirit state level 1. If there was some cultivator like Jing Yingli, he would be able to reach hollow spirit state peak stage for sure. Okay, since City Lord Yi agrees to this, then we'll do that, Yang Guan quickly said. Wen Sai stood out and bowed to Yang Feiqing and then Yang Guan. Yang Qianbei, there's no right for WN Bei to talk here, but it concerns my entire life, please allow me to bring a suggestion. Yang Guan nodded, Sai, say anything you like. You'll be one of us too, it's fine. Wen Sai bowed again before saying, since martial sister Susu is choosing husband from a fight like me, I think we should put the two competitions together. All the prodigy sect members of the big sects are here with their sects. I think the contestants shouldn't be limited to Black Ice sect members. Any prodigy as long as he's young enough can participate. If WN Bei and martial sister Susu find someone we like, we can choose ourselves too. What do you think, Yang Qianbei? Yang Feiqing didn't say anything. Yi Mo already ruined the South Alliance thing, so it was unnecessary for Wen Sai to marry into Black Ice sect. If it was before, Yang Guan would really want the marriage alliance with Infinity sect, but after all these problems, he gave up that idea. Now that Wen Sai brought this up, he was very enthusiastic. Okay. Yang Guan quickly said. Sai, your suggestion is very good. Now that so many prodigies are here at Black Ice Mountain, we can all see the glory of the younger generation. All the prodigies here today can join the competition. As long as Tsai and Susu don't mind, you can propose. Hearing this, all the prodigy sect members grew excited. To them, it was the fortune from their past life to be able to dual cultivate with someone as beautiful as Wen Tsai. As for Luo Susu, many people wanted to, but seeing Yi Mo's actions they knew it was impractical. They knew that even if they beat Yi Mo, their sect wouldn't let them marry Luo Susu. But Wen Tsai was different, she didn't have a husband and she brought up this method of choosing her husband. Seeing that Lu Wu didn't help Yi Mo say anything, Yang Guan breathed easy. He was scared that Lu Wu would be domineering and forcefully take away Luo Susu. In order to preserve their face, they could only fight with Lu Wu. Even if they won, the result wouldn't be what Yang Guan wanted. Seeing that Lu Wu didn't help Yi Mo say anything, Yang Guan breathed easy. He was scared that Lu Wu would be domineering and forcefully take away Luo Susu. In order to preserve their face, they could only fight with Lu Wu. Even if they won, The result wouldn't be what Yang Guan wanted. They would also be offending Pill City in the process. After Elder Fan brought up the tournament, Yimo didn't let Lu Wu forcefully attack and Lu Wu didn't stand up himself. This made Yang Guan breathe easy and guess the relationship between the two. If their relationship was really as Yimo said, then Lu Wu should have said something. Yang Guan saw this detail and so did people from other sects. They were all ancient beings. Yimo was so dominant before, but when Elder Fan brought up the competition to decide Luo Susu's husband, Yimo didn't rebuke her. The only explanation was that Yimo didn't have enough power to back him up or Yimo was too impulsive and was tricked by Elder Fan. Yimo agreed because he didn't like Wen Tsai trying to challenge Susu before, saying that Susu wasn't as good as her. So he was going to make Wen Tsai open her eyes and see how much better Susu's husband was than the man she was going to choose. But it was indeed also because he didn't have the power to say no. Pill City was powerful but it was only a threat. If he tried to forcefully take away Beiwei and Susu and forced these 9-star sects into a corner, then a fight would break out. As long as someone held Lu Wu down, he would be instantly killed. After he died, what could the Pill City do? Yimo knew that if he continued to be dominant he would anger 9-star sects for sure. He Ling already attacked him and he would have died if it wasn't for Lu Wu. At the same time, Yimo felt he miscalculated. He should have invited Yu Chichao. Then, no one would dare to say anything if he tried to take away Susu and Beiwei. It all came down to power. His power was low and his connections weren't enough. He was only a level 7 Pill King. He didn't have Yu Chichao and Shen Guanqing's power and connections. If they were here, perhaps with a single word 9-star sects would help them. Since the competition was necessary, Yimo thought of it as getting back at Wen Tsai for Susu. But he wasn't an idiot. Since he agreed to the competition, he couldn't keep giving them that much proposal gift. Yimo got up and said again, "Sect leader Yang, since you choose the competition, then I will take back my proposal gift. I don't believe every sect who participates in the competition will give as much I as gave. Since sect leader Yang agreed to the competition, then it means you're giving up my proposal gift. Everyone needs to be equal. I don't think that just because the Black Ice sect thinks the Pill City is wealthy, I have to pay more in terms of a proposal gift to join the participants. Of course, I don't mind giving more for my proposal gift, but I don't believe the Black Ice sect would take my proposal gift and still make me fight for Susu." Hearing this, Yang Guan was dazed. The reason he agreed to this competition was because regardless of whether Yimo won or lost, the proposal gift would be theirs. He had already calculated this. He didn't want to offend Infinity Sect, so let Pill City offend them. If Yimo won, then no problem, and that was the most satisfying result. But if Yimo lost to an ordinary 7-star or 8-star sect, Yimo know that those sects won't dare to fight over Susu with Yimo, so Susu would eventually be taken away by Yimo. If Yimo lost to a 9-star sect or even Infinity Sect or Lightning Cloud Sect, with how important Susu was to Yimo, he would bargain heavily over her. Number 9-star sect could compete with Pill City, so Susu would eventually be taken away by Yimo and he would still get the proposal gift. But now, Yimo said the proposal gift was no more. How could that be? But he just agreed to this and now he couldn't regret. He turned around and glared at Fan Lianzhu coldly. If she just agreed to let Yimo take away Susu, there wouldn't be so much trouble. Although they would offend Infinity Sect, but they would connect with Pill City's level 7 Pill King. Fan Lianzhu calmed down now and knew what she didn't wasn't good. She had never thought of marrying Susu out. If Yimo didn't come, then she wouldn't even marry her to Infinity Sect. She rejected core sect members' proposals already. She agreed to Yang Feiqing because firstly, Yimo gave her a bad impression, and secondly since she knew Susu would be taken by Yimo eventually, as even the Black Ice sect couldn't fight with Pill City. So in her anger, she agreed with Yang Feiqing. As for agreeing to the competition, it was completely because she was furious Yimo said she was bullshitting. She calmed down now and knew what she did didn't benefit the sect at all, but she had already done it. In a room at the Black Cloud Peak, Tang Beiwei looked at Luo Ying in confusion. "Sister Susu, you're already Golden Core State Peak stage, why did you suddenly come out of solitary cultivation?" A pale yellow-dressed woman sat opposite Tang Beiwei. Luo Ying frowned. I feel restless. It's as though something is about to happen, so I came out. Tang Beiwei heard this and said, Sister Susu, how about I ask Master and we'll go visit Qingxue? Luo Ying knew Tang Beiwei wanted her to go out and have some fresh air. She smiled sweetly and replied, I'm fine, but we should indeed visit her as well as Luo Fei and Yunzi. Tang Beiwei just wanted to speak when her spirit sense scanned a pink-dressed lady rushing in. Sister Susu, Martial Sister Rong is here. Martial Sister Rong. Luo Ying and Tang Beiwei got up. Zhao Rong looked at Susu and said desperately, Martial Sister Susu, you finished solitary cultivation? Yeah, Martial Sister Rong. What happened? Why do you seem very desperate? Luo Ying asked. Almost all the sect 7-star and above came to Black Ice Peak. I heard it's for Wen Tsai choosing a husband. But then the news I got wasn't this. I heard the sect leader and elder fan are also using this chance to choose a husband for Susu. What do we do? Zhao Rong was worried. She didn't know who Susu's husband was, but she knew she had a husband. Impossible. Susu exclaimed with a pale face. Her master was very nice to her. She would never agree to this. This sort of thing had happened more than once and Master rejected without hesitation. Sister Susu. Tang Beiwei grabbed Luo Ying's hand worriedly. I'll go see Master, Luo Ying said adamantly. Zhao Rong grabbed Luo Ying's hand. People at the Black Ice Hall are all powerful people. You won't be able to get in. Today Infinity Sect's sect leader brought a proposal gift and then Pill City Vice City Lord seemed to have a conflict and suddenly he wanted to take you away. So, the two started fighting and then the sect leader agreed to choose a husband through competition like Wen Tsai. Pill City Vice City Lord is here too? Tang Beiwei and Susu rarely went out so they didn't Cao Yimo was Vice City Lord. Zhao Rong nodded. Yes, he's the person Ning Qingxue is married to. He was the Pill King Tournament #1, Ning Qingxue was taken away by him on the spot and the ethereal immortal pond didn't dare to say anything. I think today might end up the same way. Tang Beiwei and Luo Ying's hands shook. Now isn't the time to worry, we need to think of a way. Zhao Rong started. Did Ning Qingxue really get taken away by that city lord? Ning Qingxue didn't resist. Luo Ying's tone grew impetuous. Zhao Rong nodded. Yes, she seemed very intimate with that City Lord Yi, she was willing. How could she resist? City Lord Yi? Tang Beiwei and Luo Ying asked at the same time. Zhao Rong nodded. Yes, his Yi Mo. He's not only Pill King Tournament #1 but the honorary Vice City Lord of Pill City as well. He came to Black Ice Peak today to fight over Martial Sister Susu with Infinity Sect. Susu, Beiwei, where are you going? Zhao Rong hadn't finished but Susu and Beiwei had already charged out towards Black Cloud Peak. In the Black Ice Peak Hall, everyone was waiting for the first challenger but Yimo suddenly walked out and stood in the middle. In the Black Ice Peak Hall, everyone was waiting for the first challenger but Yimo suddenly walked out and stood in the middle. No one knew what he was going to do. Friends, sect leaders. I've already said and I believe everyone knows that Susu is my wife. I'm standing here today, if anyone dares to try for Susu, then come up by all means. Don't blame me for not being polite. Today is Goddess Wen's blissful day and I came to celebrate too, not to fight. The friend who gets Goddess Wen can challenge anyone, but don't challenge me. Yimo's tone suddenly grew cold. If anyone dares to try for Susu, don't challenge anyone else, just challenge me, I'll take it all. Then Yimo scanned Yang Feiqing and Wang Chuanhe coldly before glaring at Fan Lianzhu as he said word by word, no matter who you are, if you dare to try for Susu, come at me. Wen Tsai's face was green, she was ignored by Yimo again. The hall sunk into a brief silence. Such domineering words. City Lord Yi is really domineering. Infinity Sect's Nan Jinsheng wants to test if your power is as dominating as your words. A blue cultivator robed man flew out. Only hollow spirit state level 2 and he dared to challenge him, Yimo sneered. Nan Jinsheng came up and then saluted with his fists to the Infinity Sect and Black Ice Sect leaders saying, injuries are unavoidable in fights. If WN Bei accidentally injures or kills City Lord Yi, what happens? Lightning Cloud Sect's Wang Chuanhe sneered. If you don't have the power, it serves you right to be killed, otherwise just leave and don't embarrass yourself. Nan Jinseng smiled and bowed. Thank you for your hint, sect leader Wang. WN Bei understands. Then, Nan Jinsheng waved his hand and a hexagonal bell floated above his head while a low-grade cultivation artifact golden dragon sword appeared in his hand. He looked calmly at Yi Mo. I'm interested in Luo Susu. What are you going to do? A mere hollow spirit state level 1 dares to be so cocky. I've long since had enough with you. As you wish. Icy cold Kai was emitted from all over Yi Mo's body. That killing intent rose when Nan Jinsheng said he was interested in Luo Susu. Even the other cultivators in the hall could feel Yi Mo's endless killing intent. Some low-powered cultivators shivered subconsciously. Such powerful killing intent. A few sect leaders were stunned. With this killing intent swooping out, everyone knew that Yi Mo wasn't just good at pill concoction. Nan Jinsheng didn't consider Yi Mo a threat at all. He just didn't expect Yi Mo's killing intent to be this intense and he subconsciously shivered. But before he could move, a monotone ray of purple swept over, that overwhelming killing intent growing more intense. Hua! Mountain! Strike! There was only endless killing intent for those who dared to try for Susu. He used his full-powered illusion cloud Hua Mountain Strike without hesitation. This was a strike that had no defense, only one attacking with all his might. This strike gathered all his fury. Nan Jinsheng saw his opponent hack out a long sword, more like a kitchen knife to be specific. But facing this kitchen knife, he actually felt a sliver of fear. What kitchen knife could emit such terrifying killing intent and purple rays? He subconsciously wanted to use his golden dragon sword, but he saw his cultivation essence slowed down in that instant. What sword technique was this? Nan Jinsheng was shaken. But this strike was too fast and too powerful. It was as though if this strike didn't kill him, Yi Mo would chase him to the ends of the world. No! Nan Jinsheng howled in despair and felt the purple ray slice down from his brow and then another clank. That was his defense spell. Yi Mo hacked open his defense spell and killed him. Blood mist spewed. Nan Jinsheng was killed without even being able to release his magic artifact. The hall sunk into silence. He had killed a hollow spirit state level 2 cultivator with one strike, and this was Infinity Sect core disciple Nan Jinsheng. Not only that, the two halves of the body were suddenly torn apart by the residual sword ray. The sect leaders took a cold breath in. Since when had they seen such a powerful hollow spirit state level 1? Killing a hollow spirit state level 2 with one strike, and this was splitting open the defense bell first and then cutting him in half from the forehead down. Domineering, too domineering. Just how much anger and terrifying killing intent was needed to explode with such power? The silence lingered for a long time before Yang Guan said dryly, "The first battle, City Lord Yi wins." Yang Feiqing's face was so bleak that water was about to drip out. He glared at Yi Mo. He didn't expect Yi Mo to be this strong. This man must not be left alive. If he matured, how could the Infinity Sect exist? Fan Lianzhu saw this and subconsciously shivered. She regretted her decision even more. Yi Mo was this powerful at hollow spirit state level 1. If he grew up, who could fight him? This guy was another Chu Jiuyu. You ambushed him, one elder said in fury. Yi Mo clutched Zishu tightly and didn't even look at him. He was reminiscing that strike. He had achieved new enlightenment. Heaven Demon Sect's Le Yarrow suddenly laughed. Elder, your eyes are really good. Even we didn't see City Lord Yi ambush, but you saw it. How come I saw Nan Jinsheng challenge City Lord Yi first and release his magic artifact? It seems I'm blind. Shut up. Yang Feiqing yelled and that elder stopped with a red face. He was only cauldron filling state level 1 and Le Yarrow was cauldron filling state tertiary stage. Yang Feiqing immediately said to another elder, "Send a messenger flying sword and tell Ming Wujian and Tai Baifei to come." Yes. The elder immediately sent a messenger flying sword. Ming Wujian and Tai Baifei were the two most excellent hollow spirit state cultivators in Infinity Sect. They weren't the strongest in hollow spirit state, but they were the youngest hollow spirit state cultivators. Tai Baifei was hollow spirit state level 6 and Ming Wujian was hollow spirit state level 7, he was even on the hollow spirit state trial tablets. At the same time, Lightning Cloud sect and a few other sects sent messenger flying swords as well, clearly to gather excellent sect members. Yi Mo didn't seem to see this and fully comprehended that move before scanning around and saying coldly, "Whoever dares to try for Susu, come up, I'll take it all." At the same time, two women desperately flew over on flying swords at the entrance to the hall. They heard Yi Mo's voice and charged inside the hall without hesitation. The disciple guarding the entrance was about to stop them, but he was stopped by another cultivator who said, "Wait, they're Luo Susu and Tang Beiwei. Sect leader was asking for them too, let them go in." Yi Mo also stopped talking and looked at the entrance of the hall with surprise and joy. Brother. Husband. Usually, Luo Ying would rather call Yi Mo martial brother than husband, but today the joy of reunion was inexpressible. It was like her heart was about to explode. Beiwei, Susu. Yi Mo's heart softened. As long as they were fine, then all was good. No matter what happened, he could take them away. He was scared to not even be able to see them. At this moment, his anger towards Fan Lianzhu lessened. If her master purposely targeted Susu, she wouldn't be able to see him. Luo Ying rushed into Yi Mo's arms and even Tang Beiwei came up and hugged Yi Mo's arm. Nothing could compare with the joy of reunion, nothing could express their feelings right now. To Yi Mo, he knew Susu was at Black Ice Sect, but he couldn't come and take her away. That insulting and oppressive feeling was inexplicable. No one understood it. He cultivated like crazy, risking his life, but he was still so far from those ancient beings. Before the Pill King tournament, he was worse than an insect. Now that the woman of his life was in his arms, Yi Mo's mood was soothed. What other pity was there when he took her back to Pill City? Many people were still immersed in Yi Mo's dominating strike, but now they were dazed by Yi Mo's soft feelings. Many people were still immersed in Yi Mo's dominating strike, but now they were dazed by Yi Mo's soft feelings. The bloody body was still on the ground, but then there was this scene of reunion, it seemed very unharmonious. Fan Lianzhu saw her disciple, who usually never showed any expression to male cultivators, being so intimate with Yi Mo. She didn't understand. Even if Yi Mo was her husband, she shouldn't be like that. Susu was in the cultivation realm now, her mortal ties should have been faint if not completely severed. Even in the cultivation realm, men and women got together mostly for dual cultivation. She really didn't understand that joy of reunion. Yi Mo no longer had the mood to challenge and pulled Susu and Beiwei back to his seat. Susu and Beiwei spoke with Yi Mo for a long time before calming down. Now, Susu saw what happened in the hall and began to worry. But then she and Tang Beiwei saw her master and sect leader, they were going to greet them, but Yi Mo stopped them. "Don't go now." Luo Susu respected her master, but if she had to choose between her master or Yi Mo, she would choose Yi Mo without hesitation. So she sat down. Tang Beiwei didn't move either. Fan Lianzhu saw this and sighed. She knew she was wrong. She thought Susu would listen to her for sure, but now she knew that in her disciple's heart her status was far lesser than this city lord Yi. "Susu, Beiwei," Luo Fei called. "Luo Fei, how are you here too?" Tang Beiwei just saw Luo Fei and asked. The hall wasn't as silent as before and there were people cleaning up the mess, but no one dared to speak while Yi Mo was talking. "What? Sword Valley was annihilated by Infinity Sect. What about Sister Z?" Tang Beiwei asked in shock. Tang Beiwei's voice was too loud and almost the entire hall heard her. If someone else dared to do this, they would have been reproached or killed by He Ling. But no one said anything. Yang Feicheng's face was bleak as usual. He could only kill Yi Mo through challenge, nothing else. Luo Fei and them glared at Infinity Sect and said word by word, "Yes, I will get justice for my sect." Yi Mo didn't say anything. He knew he could only protect him and the few people around him for now. He was still too far from getting revenge from Infinity Sect. Yang Guan saw this and breathed easy. He knew that those who would challenge Yi Mo now were either idiots or those who had a feud with Yi Mo. Yang Guan suddenly up and said, "Since City Lord Yi has gone down, those who want to fight please come up." The competition continues. No one came out for a long time. Many were shocked by Yi Mo's magnificent strike. In this awkward moment, a Black Ice sect disciple got up and bowed to Yang Guan and the elders as well as the sect leaders before saying, "WN Bei Black Ice sect's disciple Zhon Shuiyong, I've long admired Infinity sect's Goddess Wen. I agree to Goddess Wen's decision. Those who have the same idea as me can come up and challenge me." Zhon Shuiyong was ordinary looking and seemed scholarly. Zhon Shuiyong didn't even look at Wen Tsai. Clearly, he didn't come for Wen Tsai. He just didn't want his sect leader to be in an awkward situation. He was nascent soul state level 5 and very young, but clearly it was impossible for him to get Wen Tsai. Wen Tsai understood this as well and glared at Yi Mo and Luo Susu. There was this inexplicable anger in her heart. Yi Mo had been using her as an excuse from the start. Then, he killed Nan Jinsheng from her sect with one strike for Luo Susu and was being all lovey-dovey with Luo Susu now. Yi Mo was not only Pill City's city lord but also a level 7 Pill King as well as someone who could easily kill those with higher cultivation levels than him. Compared to those prodigies admiring her, Yi Mo was a genius amongst geniuses. Even with how talented Yuan Guannan was, he was killed by Yi Mo in the Truthful Palace. From this, it was easy to tell that Yi Mo was much better than Yuan Guannan. She was ranked equally first with Luo Susu in the South Peace State 10 Beauties. Now that Yi Mo was Susu's husband, clearly no matter who won this competition, he wouldn't be as good as Yi Mo. She once publicly said that Luo Susu did not deserve to be ranked equally first with her, but now her husband was so much better than her. This was slapping her face. And even Zhon Shuiyong didn't come up for her. She was more unhappy. She once swore that no matter who Luo Susu's husband was, she would steal him and then kick him back, but now she no longer had that faith. City Lord Yi wasn't interested in her the least bit, he was even disgusted by her. Heaven Yang sect's Wang Juten, Brother Zhon, please go easy. Another nascent soul state level 6 came out. Clearly he didn't come for Wen Tsai. It wasn't that Wen Tsai was unattractive to him, but he knew that it was impossible to get Wen Tsai with his power. Wang Juten was a 7-star core sect member and had reached nascent soul state level 6 in less than 60 years. This was rather good talent. He wanted to challenge Zhon Shuiyong because he wanted to know the difference between him and 9-star sect members at the same cultivation level. The fight between the two was a completely friendly practice fight, so it seemed very flashy, but there was no killing intent. Even though they were big sect core disciples, Yi Mo really didn't have the interest to watch this sort of fight. Zhon Shuiyong was smart and cunning. Compared to Wang Juten, who focused on cultivation, his fighting experience and cultivation level was a little weaker. In about 8 minutes, he was hacked out by Wang Juten and lightly injured. He lost. Zhon Shuiyong didn't come for Wen Tsai, so it didn't that he lost, but at the door of Black Ice sect, a core disciple was kicked out and injured. This immediately made other core disciples unhappy. Before Wang Juten went down, another Black Ice sect nascent soul state level 6 cultivator flew up and said, "Brother Wang is good, Zhongwu comes to learn of your mastery." Then, before Wang Juten could reply, a hammer-shaped magic artifact was released. Different than before, it wasn't just a practice fight. Zhongwu attacked with full power. Sword Kai and hammer shadows filled the hall. The Black Ice sect's cauldron-filling state elders quickly set up some restrictions. Wang Juten wasn't as good as Zhongwu and already had fought before. In less than 7 minutes, he was sent flying and splitting blood. A nascent soul state tertiary stage from Heaven Yang saw this and immediately stood up, wanting to get back. But an elder stopped him in time, clearly knowing that if this continued, the fight between Yi Mo and Nan Jinsheng might start again. Other than Zhon Shuiyong, the other people didn't even mention Wen Tsai. Clearly they didn't come to fight for her. Wen Tsai's face was very bad. She was South Peace State's #1 beauty but was ignored to this extent. Luckily, not long after, a Godwind Valley nascent soul state level 9 cultivator walked out. He saluted with his fists to Zhongwu and said, "Godwind Valley Yutong came for Goddess Wen, Brother Wu please." Zhongwu was just here to get revenge for Zhon Shuiyong and then he was planning to go down. Now that Yutong came up for Wen Tsai, He knew he wasn't a match for Yu Tong, so he saluted with his fists. Brother Yu is already nascent soul state tertiary stage, I don't think I can beat you. Zhongwu was just here to get revenge for Zhon Shuiyong, and then he was planning to go down. Now that Yu Tong came up for Wen Tsai, he knew he wasn't a match for Yu Tong, so he saluted with his fists. Brother Yu is already nascent soul state tertiary stage, I don't think I can beat you. Then, he left. After Zhongwu went down, some core disciples of big sects came to fight. They had really come for Wen Tsai. The scene heated up, and finally Wen Tsai wasn't in an awkward situation anymore. Yi Mo didn't watch the matches, his mind was focused on Luo Ying. If it wasn't that he couldn't leave now, he would have left with Luo Ying already. 6 hours later, a terrifying explosion made Yi Mo and them look up a little. The two fighting were Hollow Spirit State Power, one Hollow Spirit State Level 5 and one Hollow Spirit State Level 7. The Hollow Spirit State Level 5 was from Black Ice Sect and the Hollow Spirit State Level 7 was from Nangong Village. Nangong Village was an 8-star sect. Yi Mo didn't care about this sect, but after hearing Shan Bingfeng's words, he started being attentive to this sect. They were a 9-star village before and called Fish Jump through Dragon Gate Village. He was planning to go visit it when he was powerful enough. Now, he had met a cultivator from there. The Nangong Village cultivator was clearly more powerful than the Black Ice Sect cultivator. He had beaten the Black Ice Sect cultivator to the point of heavy injury. Seeing this, the Black Ice Sect elders and sect leaders' faces seemed very bad. The competition was brought up by Black Ice Sect and Infinity Sect, but now, Black Ice Sect had completely lost. Their last Hollow Spirit State Level 5 disciple was beaten. Nothing was more embarrassing than this as a host. They were losing their wife to other sects in front of all these big sects. But there was nothing they could do. While they did have more powerful sect members, they were older than 60 years. Even other sects didn't understand. Nangong Village was just an 8-star sect. Even if they were going to beat a Black Ice Sect member, they didn't have to do it that way. Seeing Yi Mo stare at that Nangong Village cultivator, Mi Zhenjie sound transmissioned, that is Nangong Village's prodigy sect member Nangong Yihui. His Hollow Spirit State Level 7 and ranked 39th on the Hollow Spirit State trial tablet. He has won 12 rounds in a row. Yi Mo nodded. He didn't expect Nangong Village to be this confident and not give any respect to Black Ice Sect. A Black Ice Sect elder was the announcer, and so he had to announce, Nangong Village's Nangong Yihui claims victory. Anyone else want to challenge Nangong Yihui for Goddess Wen? The elder asked a few times and no one replied. Clearly those core disciples lost the courage to fight after seeing Nangong Yihui's power. Nangong Yihui raised his lips, showing great confidence. He looked at Wen Tsai and his eyes were full of joy. Clearly to him, Wen Tsai was his. But then, another square-faced cultivator walked out. Nangong Yihui had never been able to encounter an opponent. He saw it was a Hollow Spirit State Level 6 cultivator and his eyes immediately lit up. I was troubled that no one could give me a proper fight. Friend, you came at the right time, release your magic artifact. I'll let you have 3 moves first. Nangong Yihui waved his crescent blades. That square-faced cultivator said indifferently, you're no match for me, I'm not challenging you, move aside. No one had dared to say such a thing up until now, and Nangong Yihui's face immediately went cold. If it wasn't that his elders repeatedly said he couldn't do what Yi Mo did and hack an enemy apart, he would have done that already. But pity, the elders said he must not kill here. This square-faced cultivator's words made him want to kill him. Then let's see how I'm not a match for you. Nangong Yihui released his crescent blades. As soon as they was released, they made a piercing sound that brought circle-like sword light that enveloped the square-faced cultivator. The rings seemed to increase endlessly. The people around knew how powerful this move of Nangong Yihui was. The crescent rings were very eerie. It was very hard to escape after being enveloped by them. Nangong Yihui was not allowed to kill here, or rarely anyone would be able to escape with their lives. That square-faced cultivator's face changed when he was trapped by the white blade circles, but he sneered and used a few hand signs. A red mist appeared around him and the white blade rings started to dissipate. Moments later, he had completely broken free. A big bell appeared above his head and he said coldly to Nangong Ihue, "You have the right to fight with me." But before Nangong Ihue said anything, a young cultivator came up. He seemed much more handsome and easy-going than the square-faced cultivator. He stopped the square-faced cultivator and saluted with his fists to Nangong Ihue. "Tsai is our martial sister, we're not here to fight over her with you. This is my martial brother Tai Baifei, he admires Goddess Susu's beauty and that's why he came. Martial brother Nangong, you wouldn't be interested in Goddess Susu as well, right?" Nangong Ihue quickly waved his hand. "No, how can I? I'm only interested in Goddess Wen." Hearing Nangong Ihue's reply, the smiling youth was a little disappointed but he still said, "Now that there's no one challenging you, my martial sister is just there. You can go talk to her." Okay, sorry for being rude before." Nangong Ihue just realized this was Goddess Wen's martial brother. If he offended him, it wouldn't be good for the future. He was Hollow Spirit State Level 7 and thought he was the #1 genius, yet he called Hollow Spirit State Level 6 Tai Baifei martial brother. Clearly, he loved Wen Tsai too much. After Nangong Ihue left, that smiling youth looked at him in contempt before patting that square-faced cultivator's shoulder without saying anything. However, it was clear to everyone that they came to start trouble and maybe even kill Yimo. Yangguan realized that the Infinity Sect indeed didn't want to let Yimo go. It seemed there was quite the conflict between them. Otherwise, they wouldn't call two masters from the sect. From Infinity Sect to here, they came in such a short time. Even if there was a teleportation formation, they would need top-grade space transmission runes. If the Infinity Sect really killed Yimo here, then Black Ice Sect would need to take a part of Pill City's fury. Those people who had a good impression of Yimo started to sigh for him and those angry at Yimo started to rejoice at Yimo's impending doom. After the two left, the square-faced cultivator said loudly, "Infinity Sect's Tai Baifei admires Black Ice Sect's Luo Susu. I came here to challenge. I'm waiting for anyone who likes Goddess Susu." Susu looked at Yimo in confusion. She was already with Yimo, why did someone else say that? Luckily they couldn't tell Tai Baifei power or they would be very worried and stop Yimo from fighting. No one looked favorably at Yimo. Yimo was powerful, but the difference between him and Hollow Spirit State Level 6 was too great. That Tai Baifei was on par with Hollow Spirit State Level 7 Nangong Ihue and everyone saw Nangong Ihue's power. Even Le Yarrow sighed. She had just connected with Yimo and he was about to die. Even if she wanted to help Yimo, there was nothing she could do. Yimo comforted the two girls and walked up to Tai Baifei and released Zishu. He didn't say anything but his killing intent began to soar. Zishu also hummed as though being more keen on this battle than Yimo. "You're Yimo?" Tai Baifei sneered and then looked at Yimo contemptuously. "You're a mere Hollow Spirit State Level 1. Nan Jinsheng really wasted his years of cultivation cultivating like a dog." "You're Yimo?" Tai Baifei sneered and then looked at Yimo contemptuously. "You're a mere Hollow Spirit State Level 1. Nan Jinsheng really wasted his years of cultivation cultivating like a dog." Yimo said calmly, "Soon, you will realize that you haven't been cultivating like a human as well." Yimo hacked out Illusion Cloud Formation Kill Strike. Although his understanding of Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike was a level higher now, he knew that it was impossible to kill a master like Tai Baifei in one move. Countless purple rays flew out and completely enveloped Tai Baifei. Tai Baifei sneered and waved his hand. That huge bell started spinning above his head. Eventually, Yimo's purple sword rays clashed with the bell shadows, creating intense clanking sounds. "You have some power indeed." Tai Baifei waved his hand and a pale red long sword landed in his hand. At the same time, it turned into a red mist. It felt eerie that a huge man was using a red flying sword. But suddenly, Yimo felt it seemed to be cold. Suddenly, Yimo felt the space before him turning a blizzard, but the sky was covered with red snowflakes. The snowflakes weren't hexagonal but triangular. It was just a wave of snowflakes, but they were like ice pillars to Yimo. They were bone-chilling and squeezed the space around him, giving less space to move around as though in the end he would be crushed by the snowflakes. Everyone could just see red snowflakes flying about in the hall and the hall turning extremely cold. Tai Bai danced with his long sword as though the ruler of this icy world. Meanwhile, Yi Mo had disappeared amongst the snowflakes. Only a few purple sword rays that seeped out made people feel that Yi Mo was still alive. Seeing Yi Mo in this predicament, Fan Lianzhu sighed. She wasn't sighing for Yi Mo but for Luo Susu. She knew how important this city lord Yi was to Susu just by seeing her reaction, but now the two just met and he was about to be killed. Personally she liked Yi Mo being killed, but she really liked her disciple Susu, far more than Tang Beiwei. Yang Guan frowned. He was beginning to think of how to explain to the Pill City and bring Black Ice sect out of this mess if Yi Mo was killed. Le Yarrow closed her eyes. She had seen Tai Baifei's sword technique. This blood snowflake was extremely powerful and eerie. Any cultivator trapped by the snowflakes would be killed. This was because the cultivator's spirit sense and cultivation essence would get wasted more and more. If he couldn't break free right from the start, there was an even lesser chance of him breaking free later on. When cultivating to the extreme, the snowflakes were hexagonal, but Tai Baifei's snowflakes were only triangular. Even so, they were still very powerful. Luo Ying and Tang Beiwei got up worriedly. Sweat came out of their hands. They just saw Yi Mo and now he was going to be killed. Yi Mo was getting more and more impetuous, being suppressed by the snowflakes. He felt his skin get colder and colder. He even felt his spirit sense and cultivation essence were being wasted to resist against the cold. Yi Mo could imagine that if this continued, he would never be able to break free. He ate a spirit recovery pill and forcefully used a few spirit sense strikes. After using that, Yi Mo immediately felt the coldness and impetuous feeling dissipate quite a bit. He quickly used Illusion Cloud Division Strike now. More snowflakes were crippled. At this moment, Yi Mo yelled and used Illusion Cloud Exert will strike again. At the same time, cultivators outside could see more and more purple rays popping out of the red snowflakes. At the start it was 1, 2, then 3, 4, then 10, then tens, and then hundreds. Yi Mo's figure became clearer and clearer as well. Soon, the purple rays were evenly matched with the snowflakes. Finally, Luo Susu and Tang Beiwei breathed easy and sat down. Tai Baifei saw Yi Mo break free and was a little surprised, but he showed an even colder sneer. The bell suddenly howled and broke free from the purple sword rays, instantly pressing down on Yi Mo. Yi Mo just broke free from that eerie barrage of snowflakes. It restricted his spirit sense and rendered him unable to perfectly hack Zishu. How could he let Tai Baifei trap him in that again? When the bell shadows rose again, Yi Mo hacked out Illusion Cloud Formation Kill Strike with Illusion Cloud Division Strike and Exert Will Strike before. This fully unleashed Illusion Cloud Formation Kill Strike's power and instantly trapped Tai Baifei again. At this moment, Le Yarrow opened her eyes but saw Yi Mo break free from the red snowflakes and immediately rejoiced. She didn't expect Yi Mo to be this powerful, being able to break free from the blood snowflakes after being trapped inside. Thinking about how Yi Mo killed Nan Jinxing in one strike, she knew that Yi Mo was far from just a pill king. Seeing his bell being trapped by Yi Mo's purple sword rays again, Tai Baifei sneered and used spells faster. The red long sword seemed more and more vibrant. Yi Mo trapped the bell and had nothing to worry about now. He used a few more spirit sense blades. Tai Baifei felt his sea of consciousness ache and his movements slowed. He immediately broke free from Yi Mo's spirit sense strike, but before he could keep using blood snowflakes, he saw another vibrant purple ray come. At this moment, he felt this purple ray was so pretty, it was so vibrant as though it was going to take him to a place he should be going. He even desired to follow it. Not right. Tai Baifei instantly realized and forcefully burned some essence blood to call back the bell to block this ray. Yi Mo just needed this moment of time and hacked out Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike, straightforward and fearless. With this strike, the entire hall was covered in purple. This purple was not only pretty and enticing but also seemed to have come from heaven. Some female cultivator looked at that purple ray and closed their eyes in adoration. Almost all weak-powered cultivators just wanted to have this purple ray and not think about anything. Tai Baifei felt that purple ray sweep past his head and he heard his bones crack and his body crumble. He barely opened his eyes and looked at Yi Mo, speaking softly, such a pretty purple ray. Then, he fell down and his body broke into pieces. Yi Mo put away Zishu and closed his eyes. He entered a new palace of sword Dao. He created a new sword technique. He learned this from Tai Baifei's blood snowflakes. After a moment, Yi Mo opened his eyes and murmured, pinching flower purple ray, the heavens are only an inch away. His strike was like a pinch of flowers, silent. When people thought this was a sword ray from the heavens, the sword ray was only an inch away. Even if they were killed, they were willing. The illusion Cloud Hua mountain strike was complete. It wasn't as crude as before. It had become a lethal blow. Everyone took a cold breath in. No one understood this strike, but those above cauldron filling state knew the terror of Yi Mo's strike. Even young Feiqing stared at Yi Mo with a face of shock and horror. He even forgot his anger, forgot another prodigy sect member was killed by Yi Mo. He was thinking that Yi Mo was only hollow spirit state level 1 and this powerful. When he was disaster transformation state or even truth realization state, who would be able to stop him? At this moment, all the sect leaders were shocked, not that Yi Mo was able to kill hollow spirit state level 6 Tai Baifei, but due to that purple ray. For almost half a minute, the hall was in complete silence. Killing someone above your cultivation level wasn't rare, but what was terrifying was Yi Mo's silent strike. For almost half a minute, the hall was in complete silence. Killing someone above your cultivation level wasn't rare, but what was terrifying was Yi Mo's silent strike. Some people could tell that Yi Mo used the same strike to kill Tai Baifei and Nan Jiansheng, but it had a completely different effect. Almost everyone thought Yi Mo was going to lose for sure and he would be killed by Tai Baifei, but instead Yi Mo killed Tai Baifei. Only a few disaster transformation state and higher masters saw that Yi Mo used another attack before using illusion Cloud Hua mountain strike. It caused that pause in Tai Baifei's movements. Yang Guan took a cold breath in. He was thinking about how to explain to Pill City Lord that Yi Mo was killed, but now there was a turn of events and Yi Mo killed hollow spirit state level 6 Tai Baifei. Wen Tsai looked dazedly at Yi Mo and even forgot to be angry. She knew Yi Mo was very powerful. Before Yi Mo fought Nan Jinsheng, she thought Yi Mo was nascent soul state tertiary stage, but he killed Nan Jinsheng in one move. Clearly, he was hollow spirit state power. Nan Jinsheng said Yi Mo was hollow spirit state level 1. She was dubious but she still believed him. However, Yi Mo killed Tai Baifei now. Tai Baifei was hollow spirit state level 6. A hollow spirit state level 1 wouldn't be able to kill him. Wen Tsai was a prodigy herself and she was nascent soul state level 2. She knew that even if she wanted to kill nascent soul state level 6 it wouldn't be that easy, maybe even impossible. Was Yi Mo hollow spirit state tertiary stage? How could that be possible? She soon thought of when they first met. Yi Mo was only nascent soul state at that time and he killed Lu Jianqian. Yet how long had it been and he was hollow spirit state tertiary stage? Was there really such a genius in the world? If he really was, then the difference between him and other 9-star sect prodigies was too huge. That smiling youth cultivator wasn't able to react for a long time. He didn't believe that Tai Baifei would be killed by Yi Mo so cleanly. But after another minute, he finally realized this was reality. Yi Mo really killed Tai Baifei and his body was turned in a bloody mist. "I'm going to kill you," that youth cultivator's face snarled, and without hesitation he charged into the middle and released a dark gourd. Yi Mo knew about the Infinity Sect. They were a sect that focused on sword cultivation, but this youth used a black gourd. "Wu Jian, come back," an elder yelled, but that cultivator was filled with rage. Yi Mo sneered. This Wu Jian was hollow spirit state level 7, but he wasn't scared at all. He waved and Zishu appeared in his hand. That young cultivator saw Yi Mo's actions and forcefully stopped his impulse of running up. He slowed down and even his face became extremely calm. He then turned around and bowed to Infinity Sect. That elder saw this and breathed easy. From the bottom of his heart, he didn't want that young cultivator to go up. Yi Mo's performance was too strong, no weaker than any hollow spirit state tertiary stage. Now that this young cultivator calmed down, he wasn't as worried. The only confusion was when Ming Wujian had obtained a gourd magic artifact. That young cultivator let the black gourd float around him and said coldly to Yi Mo, "You have balls, you dare to kill our Infinity Sect's Hollow Spirit State core disciple. I'm Infinity Sect's Ming Wujian. Don't worry, I will let you die with my martial brother Tai Baifei. I will take care of that Luo Susu for at least a few years." Yi Mo's killing intent rose crazily when Ming Wujian talked about Luo Susu. A faint purple mist had already formed around Zishu. Ming Wujian sneered and used a few hand signs. The gourd suddenly made a thunderous rumble and began to expand, becoming 2 meters long and 1 meter wide in size. Yet, it still seemed to be expanding. Yi Mo looked at the dark gourd's mouth and felt a little uneasy. He felt his spirit sense couldn't scan in at all. Without hesitation, Yi Mo took out his octagonal cauldron and hacked out. Seeing this, everyone was dazed. It was obvious that the octagonal cauldron was a top-grade defense magic artifact. Yet Yi Mo didn't even use when he killed Tai Baifei. This guy was a madman. Yang Feicheng's face grew bleaker. He felt more and more that he must kill Yi Mo as early as possible, but he was here with Lu Wu today. Other than attacking together, there was no Infinity Sect cultivator that could single-handedly kill Lu Wu. No one recognized this octagonal cauldron, but Wen Tsai knew it. She saw martial brother Yuan get it in the Truthful Palace. She was now even more certain that Yi Mo killed martial brother Yuan. Ming Wujian saw this and was dazed but ignored it soon. He even didn't care about Yi Mo's purple sword rays. He waved his hand and countless black lines reached out from his gourd. Those black lines were extremely fast and had an ear-piercing and spirit sense-hurting screech to them. After the first wave of purple sword rays were blocked, more purple sword rays were swept away. Yi Mo thought of that Mo Qianli he killed in North Far State. His evil soul strands were similar to this, but they had no sound. These ones had screeching sound and were faster. Yi Mo soon saw that they weren't strands but small bugs. They were all black and not only had wings but also sharp teeth. Strangely, they only had 1 leg each. These bugs were extremely fast and dense. Yi Mo could only use the octagonal cauldron to protect himself as it spun faster and faster. But the bugs seemed endless and soon doubled in numbers as they clashed against the octagonal cauldron. Yi Mo felt it was harder and harder to control the octagonal cauldron. The octagonal cauldron slowed down and thus, its defenses dropped. At this rate, if the octagonal cauldron stopped, he would be swept away by these bugs. He knew that if they all came on him, not even a single bone of him would be left. Yi Mo was unhappy. He wanted to fight with a cultivator who could take on his illusion cloud strikes and fight head-on in a clash, but no one was able to satisfy him. He killed Nan Jinxing in 1 strike, Tai Baifei used blood snowflakes, and now this Ming Wujian used countless bugs to attack. Yi Mo used illusion cloud division strike again, but before the purple sword rays formed, they were devoured by those bugs. Such powerful bugs, they could even devour sword rays. Yi Mo didn't keep using Zishu. His spirit sense was barely able to control the octagonal cauldron, much less control Zishu. The key to illusion cloud was spirit sense. The more powerful the spirit sense, the more powerful the purple sword rays. Yi Mo had many means and he didn't believe he couldn't deal with these bugs. He used Mist Lotus Heart Fire the next moment. He didn't have a Heaven Flame cultivation method, but it should be fine to burn these bugs. The cultivators saw Yi Mo release Heaven Flame and knew these bugs were done for. Heaven Flame could easily burn any bug. Yet, Ming Wujian just sneered at this. The Mist Lotus Heartfire went into the middle of the bugs. Countless bugs fell down, but in a brief moment, more came up. Yi Mo frowned. He used Mist Lotus Heartfire and burned, and there were indeed some dead, but more weren't dead. Yi Mo was shocked. What bug was this that even Heaven Flame couldn't burn? Although the level of the Heaven Flame was low, he was sure he could even burn a body condensation state peak stage cultivator to death if he let him. He suddenly thought of a spirit bug that was on thing and his face turned dark. Fire-eating bug, ranked 7th on the rare spirit bugs ranking. They devoured metals and liked devouring all sorts of flames. They grew in flames. Fire-eating bug, ranked 7th on the rare spirit bugs ranking. They devoured metals and liked devouring all sorts of flames. They grew in flames. It could be said that they could devour anything, and there was rarely anything that could counter them. Yet, Ming Wujian had so many fire-eating bugs. How did he keep them alive? Even though they were the lowest grade, with this many there even a sect wouldn't be able to afford keeping them. This was because they needed to not only devour flames but also large amounts of ores, or else they wouldn't reproduce. The higher their level, the harder it was to keep them. But Ming Wujian's bugs were the lowest level, so they used a lot of resources, but they wouldn't be high level. Even the other sect leader and elders' faces changed when they saw this many fire-eating bugs. They recognized them and knew their terrifying power when they matured. They're actually fire-eating bugs. Even Lu Wu was shocked. Even Yang Guan and other 9-star sect elders were shocked. They thought of the Infinity sect. The Infinity sect had such terrifying bugs. If they used the sect's power to raise them, what other sect could stand up to them? If all the fire-eating bugs were released, they could definitely annihilate a sect immediately. But they knew that it was impossible to fully mature all of them. Even getting 110000 mature was extremely hard, but just the name fire-eating bug was enough to strike fear. More than 10,000 years ago, there was a great evil on Luo Yu continent. He was the fire-eating bug demon. This person kept countless mature fire-eating bugs. No one could stop him. He annihilated a 9-star sect all by himself just because he liked that location and wanted to use it as his own sect. The 9-star sect rejected him, and in his fury, he annihilated the entire sect. That fire-eating bug demon ravaged for 1,000 years before encountering Chu Jiuyu and being killed. Since then, his fire-eating bugs disappeared too. Now, 10,000 years later, the fire-eating bugs appeared again and they belonged to Infinity sect. Yang Feicheng's face was also bleak. He didn't know that his sect member had someone that kept fire-eating bugs. If he knew this, he wouldn't let Ming Wujian fight. He would make these fire-eating bugs Infinity sect's top secret. Yet, this insolent Ming Wujian not only fought but also used fire-eating bugs immediately. Even if he killed Yi Mo, other sects wouldn't allow Infinity sect to keep the fire-eating bugs for themselves. It was hard to keep them, but as long as you had the method and resources, another fire-eating bug demon would appear. Yet, Chu Jiuyu was someone who didn't appear for 10,000 years. If there wasn't someone like Chu Jiuyu around, the fire-eating bug demon would be able to do whatever he wanted in the cultivation realm. Yang Feicheng clearly could see that Ming Wujian wasn't used to controlling these bugs. It was very hard for him. Clearly, he either just got these bugs or someone had just taught him. Yi Mo realized it was no wonder these bugs weren't afraid of his heaven flame. Luckily his heaven flame was red level and could burn some otherwise. If the flame was still yellow, it might instead feed them. Yi Mo felt his octagonal cauldron get slower and slower. It was already a bit hard for him to use Heaven Flame and Octagonal Cauldron at the same time. Yi Mo couldn't let this continue. He really wanted to use 11 lightning swords. People already knew he killed Tian Aofeng. It was no big deal to use it now. But just when he wanted to use it, he saw Ming Wujian's face get pale. His each hand sign and spell was barely able to be used. Ming Wujian didn't keep these bugs, Yi Mo immediately thought. Otherwise, it wouldn't be this hard for him to control. Thinking about how cunning Ming Wujian was, Yi Mo wasn't sure if he was putting up this act, so he sent out an extreme-grade spirit artifact flying sword at Ming Wujian. Even with that, his sea of consciousness rumbled. Ming Wujian was shocked to see that Yi Mo could still use flying sword. But then, he spat another mouthful of essence blood and more fire-eating bugs came out of the black gourd. But soon, Yi Mo saw that the flying sword he sent was rapidly devoured. He exclaimed, these bugs were too powerful. But now, Yi Mo no longer intended to use 11 lightning swords. Ming Wujian was unable to control the fire-eating bugs well, he only needed to summon Shadowless to ambush Ming Wujian. Yi Mo silently let Shadowless out. He wanted to let Shadowless ambush Ming Wujian, but what he didn't expect was as soon as Shadowless came out, he shrieked in excitement. What was this? Yi Mo was dazed. If he was going to enter the scene in that high-fashioned way, how was he going to ambush? But Yi Mo saw Shadowless didn't listen to him and instead dashed into Ming Wujian's black gourd in a golden beam. Yi Mo was shocked. What was this? But soon, he felt something was wrong. Those fire-eating bugs attacking the octagonal cauldron began to retreat and become chaotic. Some even flew away. Luckily, there was a restriction and they couldn't escape anywhere. The fire-eating bugs blocked by the restriction flew around like flies, but most rushed to that black gourd. Ming Wujian looked at the chaotic fire-eating bugs and shivered, murmuring, "Not a spirit bug, not an immortal. Not number one shadowless worm. There really is shadowless worm." Yi Mo wasn't struggling like before. He ate a spirit recovery pill and was about to release Zi Shu. Shadowless didn't go ambush Ming Wujian but instead went into the gourd. That at least helped him. But soon, he stopped using Zi Shu, not because Ming Wujian was pale-faced and shaking, but because the black gourd was beginning to contort as though it was going to explode. With a rumble, a hot wave swept out. Yi Mo let the octagonal cauldron shield him and quickly went to contact Shadowless. Shadowless was his important helper, he must not be blown dead. Luckily, he soon felt Shadowless. When Shadowless came out of the explosion, it wobbled around as though it was drunk. The golden body turned grey again. Without much thought, Yi Mo sent Shadowless into a spirit beast ring. He didn't want to show the golden page world here. Even the restrictions were shaking with that explosion. He didn't understand why Shadowless didn't die. But large amounts of fire-eating bugs fell down and died. Some that were still alive rushed at Yi Mo and Ming Wujian like crazy. Yi Mo had the octagonal cauldron but Ming Wujian didn't and was soon devoured into nothingness. After that, the fire-eating bugs flew around and didn't find the black gourd. Then, they all fell to the ground and turned black. Yi Mo was disgusted and released his heaven flame to burn the black things completely as well as the dead bodies. After the burning smell, the space seemed to have stabled and an orange flame appeared before Yi Mo. Leaming fire, ranked 9th amongst the flames in the cultivation realm. It was a heaven flame. There was a heaven flame inside Ming Wujian's gourd. But Yi Mo knew that there was no way it was going to be his. Yang Feiqing's face lit up seeing this, but before he could take it, Yi Mo said to Lu Wu, "Brother Lu, you can have this leaming fire." "Haha, okay, I'll take it." Then, he reached out a cultivation essence giant hand and grabbed the flame. Yi Mo breathed easy. He knew that with his ability, it would take at least 7 minutes to take the flame. By this time, Yang Feiqing would have already taken it. Now that Lu Wu took it, Yang Feiqing wouldn't even dare to ask for it. Yang Feiqing saw this and his face changed. He saluted with his fists, "Lu Qianbei, this leaming fire is my Infinity Sect member Ming Wujian's, please give it back." Lu Wu took out a jade box and sealed the leaming fire inside before looking coldly at Yang Feiqing. Since when in the cultivation realm was it that after a fight, the belongings of the dead would be returned to his sect? How come I heard that the belongings are taken by the victor? The leaming fire has been out for a long time. If I Lu Wu wanted to rob it, I would have long taken it. Do I need to wait till now? Just then, Brother Yi gave the leaming fire to me. Everyone heard this. Are your ears defective, sect leader Yang? Lu Wu took out a jade box and sealed the leaming fire inside before looking coldly at Yang Feiqing. Since when in the cultivation realm was it that after a fight, the belongings of the dead would be returned to his sect? How come I heard that the belongings are taken by the victor? The leaming fire has been out for a long time. If I Lu Wu wanted to rob it, I would have long taken it. Do I need to wait till now? Just then, Brother Yi gave the leaming fire to me. Everyone heard this. Are your ears defective, sect leader Yang? Everyone knew Lu Wu's character. He never made a losing deal but never robbed a WN Bai's things, no matter how good they were. This was why he could earn the respect of the entire cultivation realm. But if you gave him something, it was impossible to earn it back. Everyone heard that Yi Mo gave the leaming flame to Lu Wu. Yang Feiqing was furious but there was nothing he could do. He glared coldly at Yi Mo. Even the rivers couldn't express his hatred for him. After killing their prodigy Yuan Guannan, he had killed 3 more Infinity Sect Hollow Spirit State prodigies in front of his eyes, but there was nothing he could do. He regretted calling Ming Wujian out. Now the fire-eating bugs were dead. He was annoyed at Ming Wujian for hiding this and not reporting it. On top of that, he foolishly showed it to everyone. But Yang Feiqing wronged Ming Wujian as he had only just got the bugs and didn't know their glorious past. When he got the black gourd and the jade slip introducing the bugs, he was overjoyed. He immediately destroyed the jade slip and focused on feeding them. He even grew rusty on his sword Dao. But he didn't mind, he used the fire-eating bugs in battle a few times, they were invincible. No one knew that he killed a body condensation state level 1 with fire-eating bugs. That's why to him, these bugs were invincible. But the jade slip he got also introduced something else, shadowless worm. If the fire-eating bugs encountered shadowless worm, they would immediately begin to worry. It also said that the shadowless worm wasn't a spirit bug. It usually wouldn't appear in the cultivation realm, but he was unlucky and encountered the shadowless worm that shouldn't appear in the cultivation realm. Yi Mo's shadowless worm was hidden, but a few people still saw it. They just weren't sure. With Lu Wu standing behind Yi Mo, no one dared to ask. Although many people were guessing what it was that Yi Mo released later and flew into the black gourd, they could only think about it. Due to Yi Mo's arrival, many sects stopped their prodigy sect members. Yi Mo was too absurd. Only a body condensation state cultivator could surely kill him, but a 60-year-old body condensation state cultivator was too rare. Wang Chuanhe said with a bleak face, even if Fei Yu and them are here, they're not allowed to fight. They're no match for Yi Mo. He's not someone who can be killed by a cultivator of the same level. The two cultivators who came from Lightning Cloud sect didn't agree, but their sect leader already said this, so they could only hide. Wen Tsai looked coldly at Yi Mo until Nangong Yihui was really annoying her. Then she said calmly, "My husband must be number 1, but you haven't beaten number 1 City Lord Yi. I can't love you." Nangong Yihui was dazed. He didn't see Wen Tsai kick him away when he came. Why did she want him to challenge City Lord Yi? He didn't consider Yi Mo a threat before, but now that Yi Mo killed Tai Baifei and Ming Wujian, he knew Yi Mo was not weaker than him. When Tsai sneered and didn't say anything, Nangong Yihui quickly said, "Martial sister Tsai, that City Lord Yi didn't say he was interested in you." As though feeling his words were inappropriate, he quickly changed to, "That City Lord Yi said those who came for you shouldn't challenge him." When Tsai's face went cold, "But I like him because he's the strongest. If you can beat him, I can like you immediately. But if you don't even dare to challenge him, and you say you like me, is it not embarrassing? When Tsai, like the number 1, I only want the number 1. If you're scared you can't beat him, I'm not forcing you to go." Then, she couldn't be bothered talking to Nangong Yihui. Nangong Yihui was dazed. He didn't expect this, but looking at Wen Tsai, if he didn't go challenge Yi Mo, he would have no chance at all. Thinking about this, Nangong Yihui nodded, "Okay, I will challenge City Lord Yi. I will make the person who likes you be number 1. Wen Tsai showed a smile and said softly, "Then be careful, that purple ray of his is very strong." "I know." Nangong Yihui's heart was overjoyed hearing these words from Wen Tsai. Yi Mo wanted to go back to his seat but saw Nangong Yihui quickly stop him. But before Nangong Yihui could speak, an elder from Nangong village yelled, "Yihui, come back first." Nangong Yihui smiled to Yi Mo. "City Lord Yi, just wait a bit. I'll come fight with you soon. Don't worry, I'm not here for Goddess Susu, I'm here for Tsai." Yi Mo smiled. He could tell that Nangong Yihui was an idiot and was being used by Wen Tsai to fight with him. Indeed, Nangong Yihui only went back a while and that elder said to Yi Mo, "Yihui is injured, he won't be able to fight today, please forgive us City Lord Yi." Yi Mo also saluted with his fists. Brother Nangong is Hollow Spirit State level 7 and won more than 10 matches in a row, even Yi Mo is no match for him. Then, Yi Mo went back to his seat. That elder was very happy with Yi Mo's answer. He didn't let Nangong Yihui fight not because he was scared of Yi Mo, but just didn't want him to be used by that Wen Tsai. Seeing no one else challenging Yi Mo, Yang Guan got up and said, "All sorts of prodigies showed up today, and although some were injured, that was unavoidable. Luckily, we have successfully come to an end, City Lord Yi is able to leave with his loved one, our core disciple Susu. Susu got up and bowed to Yang Guan here. Susu thanks sect leader and thanks master. Yang Guan smiled, but Fan Lianzhu's face was bleak. Then, Yang Guan continued, Infinity Sect Goddess when that elder who spoke with Yi Mo intervened, thank you sect leader Yang, our sect will propose to Infinity Sect. Yang Guan breathed easy. After this Nangong village elder said this, he didn't even greet Infinity Sect, clearly, they didn't intend to propose at all. Luckily this elder said this, or he really wouldn't know what to say. From Wen Cai's expression, everyone could tell she wasn't interested in Nangong Yihui at all. Neither was the Infinity Sect interested in Nangong village. No one was interested except that Nangong Yihui. Then okay, the competition will end here today. Black Ice Sect is grateful for all the sect leaders and elders who showed up. If you have time, you may stay here for however long you want. You will be our VIP. A round of applause sounded. Everyone knew these were just polite words. The Black Ice Sect wanted them to leave as early as possible. Black Ice Sect and Infinity Sect invited everyone here for the South Alliance, but now after the competition, Yang Guan didn't mention this at all. Clearly he felt this matter wasn't good. Yang Feiqing and the Infinity Sect elders didn't say anything about it as well. Even the Black Ice Sect didn't support this. Clearly this South Alliance wasn't plausible. This was all because of that Yi Mo. All Yang Feiqing could think about now was how to kill Yi Mo. Even though Yi Mo had Lu Wu, if he used all of Infinity Sect's power, he would have a chance to kill Yi Mo. Infinity Sect had 5 truth realization states, and if they worked with Lightning Cloud Sect to trap Lu Wu first and then kill Yi Mo, it wouldn't be hard. They'd already brought the conflict to the surface, so they might as well be quick and fast. He didn't believe Pill City would fight 2 9-star sects to the death for a dead Yi Mo. Yi Mo scanned casually. Yang Feiqing's face was icy cold. Yi Mo subconsciously shivered. He estimated that this Yang Feiqing probably wouldn't rest until he killed him. Even with Lu Wu, Yang Feiqing might calculate him into part of his schemes too. Yi Mo scanned casually. Yang Feiqing's face was icy cold. Yi Mo subconsciously shivered. He estimated that this Yang Feiqing probably wouldn't rest until he killed him. Even with Lu Wu, Yang Feiqing might calculate him into part of his schemes too. No, he couldn't continue like this or he would be at an absolute disadvantage. He wasn't worried about going from Black Ice Sect to Pill City but of how to get to Mo Yu City after Pill City. Thinking about this, Yi Mo got up and saluted with his fists to some cultivators. Sect leaders and elders, it's my honor to be able to gather with you guys here today. When I go back to Pill City I will be staying there for a month. After that, I will go back to Mo Yu City. In order to thank everyone's support, 1 month later, those friends who can come with me to Mo Yu City and are above cauldron filling state, I will concoct for them a cauldron of pills for free. The pill has to be below heaven grade level 7. Almost all the cultivators stopped their feet and looked at Yi Mo fervently. 1 cauldron of heaven grade level 7 pills. Even truth realization state or disaster transformation states would find it hard for other people to concoct for them, much less cauldron filling state. Pill City City Lords could help people concoct heaven grade level 7 pills, but were they willing? Even if they were willing, would you be able to pay the price? Many cultivators were thousands of years old and had a large store of spirit herbs. However, the trouble was they didn't have someone to concoct pills for them. Now that Yi Mo gave this promise, it was like gold raining from the heavens. Le Yarrow nodded. This was Yi Mo using his natural advantage. There was almost no cauldron filling state cultivator who wouldn't want this. Before the excitement ended, Yi Mo dropped another bombshell. Everyone knows this and I've said it before, I believe I can reach level 9 Pill King in 10 years, so I'll promise here again that those friends coming with me to Mo Yu City 1 month later, if their disaster transformation state within 100 years, I can make a cauldron of heaven grade level 9 pills for them. If a truth realization state friend comes with me to Mo Yu City, then after I reach level 9 Pill King, I will make 10 cauldrons for them. He even wanted to pull truth realization state cultivators to Mo Yu City. Yi Mo's words immediately let people realize what was going on. He was trying to get some bodyguards. Despite this, there were quite some people wanting to go with Yi Mo. As long as they went with him to Moyu City, they could get a free cauldron from a level 7 Pill King. Who wouldn't want this? City Lord Yi, then we'll go with you to Pill City now and stay in Pill City for a month before going with you to Moyu City. How about it? Le Yarrow smiled. Yi Mo knew Le Yarrow was helping him and immediately saluted with his fists. I would love that, thank you Sister Yarrow. City Lord Yi, your mouth is really sweet. Le Yarrow smiled. Perhaps me and my sect's truth realization state elder will go with City Lord Yi. Yi Mo was overjoyed. With Le Yarrow's words, many sects had decided to send an elder to Pill City. Infinity Sect's Yang Feiqing's face was very cold. He knew he had miscalculated one thing, and that was Yi Mo's Pill King identity. Yi Mo's level 7 Pill King power was fully showcased here. It was their gathering to pull allies, but now it became a place for Yi Mo to rally support. Yang Feiqing was so angry he was about to spit blood, but there was nothing he could do. He had gotten so many masters to support him here, and if he went to Pill City and called out, there would be a few more truth realization states as well. But the Infinity Sect suffered so greatly at Yi Mo's hands, there was no way he would let Yi Mo go. He also knew that since Infinity Sect annihilated Sword Valley, the feud between them was unable to be resolved. Wang Chuanhe fell silent now. Yi Mo was just hollow spirit state power and easily dissipated the South Alliance. At the same time, he got so much support. Lightning Cloud Sect only lost one Tian Aofeng. Should they keep fighting with Yi Mo? Infinity Sect fought with Yi Mo and lost 4 Prodigy Sect members already, and Yi Mo was only Hollow Spirit State level 1, but he was almost invincible in Hollow Spirit State. What if he reached Body Condensation State or Cauldron Filling State? Wang Chuanhe, who was adamant on killing Yi Mo, felt his thought wavering. Yi Mo didn't reject any sect who wanted to connect with him. He welcomed all those who wanted to go with him to Moyu City. Luo Ying knew that Yi Mo was going to take them away immediately, so she brought Bai Wei to Fan Lianzhu and bowed. She felt that Yi Mo didn't seem to be friendly to her master, but her master was really nice to her. Fan Lianzhu sighed. Cultivate hard, for you, cultivation is the most important. Yes, master. Luo Ying was happy that she was able to be with Yi Mo, but she couldn't rebuke her master's words. Fan Lianzhu gave a rainbow handkerchief to Luo Ying and another pair of cloud boots to Tang Beiwei before saying, Master doesn't have anything good, I got these 2 cultivation artifacts in my earlier years. Now I'll give them to you. Luo Ying and Tang Beiwei took these things and thought, without their master, they wouldn't be in a good situation, and felt quite sentimental about leaving Black Ice Sect. Fan Lianzhu smiled. When your cultivation levels are high, you can come back and visit master. Especially Susu, if your husband wasn't Pill City Lord and a level 7 Pill King, master would never let you leave Black Ice Mountain. Yang Guan saw this and breathed easy. He brought a disaster transformation state elder to Yi Mo and said, City Lord Yi, Yang congratulates you on your reunion with Susu. Elder Shi is our disaster transformation state elder and my martial brother. In order to celebrate your return to Moyu City, he will come with you. I hope you don't mind. Yi Mo laughed. Of course he wouldn't mind, the more masters who went with him the better. Even though he knew they came for the cauldron of pills, he was grateful. Many days later, in Pill City, those who came with Yi Mo to Pill City and wanted to go to Moyu City were arranged to stay at VIP places in Pill City. Luo Ying, Ning Qingxue, Tang Beiwei, Luo Fei and them reunited again and were very happy. They caught up and were very emotional. When they came to South Peace State, they went around everywhere. Luckily Susu's master arranged places for them, or they wouldn't dare to think about their predicament. Only Yun Zi was lost. Luo Ying and them knew that Yi Ling and Song Yangzhu as well as Su Jingwen were still in North Far State. Yi Mo said he would go bring there to Moyu City after they returned to Moyu City. They knew how hard it was to bring this many people over, but everyone believed in Yi Mo. He came to Luo Yu later but was far ahead of them. It had been 2 or 3 years and he needed to bring them back. He wanted to find Lu Wu to see if he could make a top-grade flying magic artifact for him to fly back. Yi Mo was going to find Lu Wu, but Lu Wu was more desperate to find Lu Wu. There were too many people on the road and Yi Mo was with his Susu. He didn't even get an opportunity to speak. Now, he had to ask Yimo. Yimo was pulled inside the house before he even walked in. When Yimo actually went inside the inner room, he was dazed. There was another small dimension here. It was spacious and luxurious. The spirit Kai was so dense that he didn't dare to imagine there was at least a low-grade spirit range here. Stop acting shocked, you have much better things than me. I only have this spirit range, you probably don't even consider it valuable. Heaven flame, earth flame, that pill cauldron, and that octagonal cauldron. Hee, especially that kitchen knife. Lu Wu smiled. Do you have something important that you called me over so desperately? Yimo quickly changed the topic. If this old guy wanted to take his things by force, there really was nothing he could do. Lu Wu glared at him. How can I be interested in your things? That's good, my things aren't worth money, Yimo quickly said. Lu Wu said in contempt, not worth money? The thing you annihilated, the fire-eating bugs, is shadowless worm, right? Other people can't tell, but I can. Lu Wu got up and waited excitedly for Yimo to reply. Yimo nodded, he had to admit it. It was because he had long since known that his little pet was shadowless worm. Yimo nodded, he had to admit it. It was because he had long since known that his little pet was shadowless worm. But Yimo didn't know anything about it, didn't it introduce either. It really is shadowless worm. Lu Wu became excited. He clapped his hand and walked excitedly in circles but then shook his head. Pity, such a legendary thing is being wasted by you. I would rather you waste a few more South Peace State 10 beauties than. Seeing that Yimo's face looked bad, Lu Wu rubbed his hands and smiled. I'm joking. Yimo ignored him. He had quite a few things that were legendary things, but he still got them. There were too many legendary things. Ju Qian's one purple flare was also legendary. Even the fire-eating bugs he annihilated weren't seen everywhere. Lu Wu rubbed his hand and said, once the shadowless worm approves of a master, it will never change it, so don't worry, I won't scheme for it. But the shadowless worm has a specialty, and that is each time it evolves, it envelops itself in silk. Have you seen this? Yimo remembered that and thus took out a ball of white silk and asked, are you talking about this? That's right. Lu Wu took it from Yimo's hand and said, yes, it's this. This was the second time Yimo saw Lu Wu so excited. The first time was when he took out the bitter bamboo leaf. Such a good thing, forgery treasure, Lu Wu exclaimed. Yimo said plainly, Brother Lu, I know it's forgery treasure, but after you're done looking at it, can you give it back? Lu Wu looked at Yimo with some awkwardness but didn't give it back. Seeing that Yimo didn't talk for a while, he said embarrassedly, how about I help you concoct something or attack for you 3 times and owe you? Stop. Yimo waved his hand. You still owe me from last time and now here we go again. Lu Wu felt more awkward but didn't want to let go of the silk strand. Suddenly he seemed to have thought of something. He took out 3 jade boxes and opened them in front of Yimo. Have a look yourself, take it if you like. After seeing these things, Yimo took a cold breath in. He thought he had a lot of good things, but now seeing the things Lu Wu took out casually, he immediately realized that he was a beggar compared to Lu Wu. There was level 8 material dark ice marrow, level 8 spirit herb illusion magic flower, and even 1 flame lotus heart. Kong Yi gave him one before and now Lu Wu had one too. Luckily he hid his mist lotus heart fire in the golden page world as soon as he came to Pill City, or else it would have been found out by this guy. Yimo knew that the flame lotus heart was a top-grade item. It might not be very good for forgery, but it was very useful to him. Yet Lu Wu was willing to take this out. This could let his mist lotus heart fire upgrade. This guy knew he had the mist lotus heart fire and didn't take it out last time. Yet this was just his casual offer, one could see how many good things he has stored away. Yimo suddenly regretted giving him the bitter bamboo leaf for just a few times of helping him. What was shadowless worm? How could Lu Wu take the silk it made so seriously? Suddenly, Yimo even wanted to learn forgery himself. What if this silk was a very good thing? Then wouldn't he lose greatly? Putting that aside, Yimo looked at these things. He wanted all of them. But before he could speak, Luwu said, "Brother Yi, since you know the use of the shadowless worm silk, you should know that its first silk has the lowest value. You can only choose one." Yimo was dumbfounded. He didn't know shit. Yimo knew that he could only get more things out of Luwu if he said he knew the value. Now that Luwu said this, didn't that mean he could only choose one? Suddenly, Yimo felt things weren't right. If the silk could only swap with one item, Luwu wouldn't take out this many. He only needed to take out the Flame Lotus Heart. He would take it for sure. Since he took out Flame Lotus Heart as well as many other things, it meant he was so desperate for it, so he took out something that was equivalent in value to the silk. The last sentence might be Luwu testing him. Thinking about this, Yimo said calmly, "Brother Lu, don't try to scam me please, I'm a level 7 pill king. I don't need to say the value of the shadowless worm silk." Then, Yimo said, "I'll take all of it." He then moved those jade boxes close to him. Luwu saw this and didn't get angry. "Okay, but you must agree that the next time your worm makes silk you need to give it to me, at least 3 times. Yimo quickly said, "That's fine that you have a proposal, but so do I, and that is that you let me study your forgery manual." "You want to learn forgery as well?" Luwu looked at Yimo in disbelief. "You're a pill king and a formation great master, now you want to learn forgery?" Yimo scratched his head and said in embarrassment, "It's a bit troublesome to ask you every time." Okay, you can be my disciple." Luwu rubbed his hands and grew excited. Yimo suddenly stared at Luwu and asked, "Brother Lu, how many level 9 forgery grandmasters are there in South Peace State?" "Around 7 or 8, Luwu said. "Then what about pill kings above level 7? Yimo asked. "About 4 or 5. Luwu suddenly felt that Yimo had bad intentions. "Then you want me, a level 7 pill king who is rarer than forgery grandmasters, to be your disciple? What do you think the old pill kings in Pill City would think?" Yimo took the jade boxes and asked calmly. Luwu smiled, I'm joking. Here, this is a forgery manual." Luwu threw a jade slip to Yimo. Yimo saw that Luwu wanted to send him off, but he said slowly, "Brother Lu, you told me last time you would help me forge and I haven't had time to find you. I came today just for that. Of course, if it's beyond a cultivation artifact I would love it even more." Luwu said unhappily, "I knew it. Tell me, what do you want?" Yimo said, "I want an extreme grade flying magic artifact that can fly from South Peace State to North Far State." "What?" Luwu interrupted before Yimo finished. "Are you dreaming? Even if you have that, you can fly from South Peace State to North Far State yourself. The ancient beings in the Heartless Sea would have devoured you countless times. Even I need to use a lot of effort to go from South Peace State to North Far State without taking the teleportation formation." Yimo asked again, "Just tell me, can you do it or not?" Luwu smiled. "Even if I can make it, do you have the materials? It needs special flying materials, even I can't gather them all." Yimo took out a few materials and asked, "What about these things?" Luwu saw these things and his eyes were unable to move anymore. 9 feather golden eagle's tail feather, a level 10 material. Huang star rock, a level 9 material. Half extreme grade star sand, a level 9 material. He stared at Yimo. "Where did you get all this from?" "Huang star rock and the tail feather are the most suitable materials to concoct flying magic artifacts. Did you long want to concoct a flying magic artifact? That's why you were searching around everywhere." "That's right, Brother Lu. Can you tell me if it can be made?" Yimo said helplessly. That was all he had. Luwu nodded. "Of course it can, but it's missing a main material. I happen to have a top-grade 10,000-year Liu wood heart. I'll give it to you as well. I'll even add a bit of that bitter bamboo leaf, but even with this top-grade flying magic artifact, your power is a bit." Yimo knew that his power was too low. "What sort of flying magic artifact do you want?" Luwu asked. "What sort of flying magic artifact do you want?" Luwu asked. Yimo thought and said, "One that is stealthy but also fast." "Okay, come pick it up half a month later." Luwu picked up those jade boxes. "What?" Yimo asked in confusion. Lu Wu took out a small black rock from the jade box containing the Huang Star Rock and looked at it excitedly. World Rock, there really is World Rock, there really is World Mountain, there really is. He suddenly looked up at Yi Mo and said, "You not only have bitter bamboo but also World Rock. How do you have so many other worldly things?" Yi Mo cursed. He found this piece from the ruin of Yu Baisheng. He found that there was a material he didn't know once he got the jade box containing the Huang Star Rock. When he came to World Mountain, he realized that it was World Mountain Rock. But he already got a huge block of World Rock from the World Mountain. He didn't care about this little piece, so he didn't even do anything about it. But now, Lu Wu saw it today and this was really lethal. Seeing Lu Wu stare at him, Yi Mo could only say, "I found this small rock and the bitter bamboo leaf at the bottom of that big lightning mountain in Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds. I didn't know it was World Rock. If you need it then take it. It really has no use for me." Lu Wu looked at Yi Mo dubiously for a long while before saying, "Your luck is too absurd." Luckily, Lu Wu didn't delve deep into it. He took out that small piece of World Rock and said, "The mass of the World Rock increased 10 times for every time its volume doubles. No one can explain why it is so because this is an utmost pinnacle forgery material. You really have a lot of good things. Go back first, don't worry. I'll add some extra materials for your dark cloud pike since I got your World Rock." Lu Wu knew Yi Mo was lying but he couldn't do anything about it. He didn't suspect that Yi Mo had more World Rock or bitter bamboo leaves as those things were too rare. Even getting a little bit required insane luck. Yi Mo breathed easy and quickly left Lu Wu's shop. To be honest, he was really scared that Lu Wu would keep asking. Luckily Lu Wu knew that he was lying and still didn't keep asking. This was a rather Qian Bei quality. Although Yi Mo really wanted to ask what the main purpose of World Rock was, he was scared that Lu Wu would think he had more World Rock. After leaving Lu Wu's shop, Yi Mo completely delved into forgery. He gave Lin Yiban tens of millions of spirit stones to buy all sorts of materials in the Pill City. With Yi Mo's wealth and his identity, it was all too easy to buy things in the Pill City. Half a month later, could already forge low-grade spirit artifacts. They didn't look very good but Yi Mo was very happy. This speed was very astounding. Although Yi Mo got Lu Wu's forgery manual, that was just a nice way of calling it. It was only introductory forgery and explained some materials and flames. As for materials, Yi Mo knew a lot from Thing. If it was given to someone else, it wouldn't be of much use, but to Yi Mo it was enough. He just needed a rough introduction. 3 Birth Chant's main purpose was to form its own system. As long as he had the start, Yi Mo would be able to complete it. But Yi Mo knew this was because his cultivation level was too low. If he was more powerful, then he wouldn't need this to form his own forgery system. Yi Mo believed if he worked hard, he would be able to make top-grade spirit artifacts in about a year or so, or even extreme-grade spirit artifacts. Other than forgery, Yi Mo stayed with Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying and them all day long. These days, he had been going everywhere to reach higher cultivation levels and rarely spent time with them. Now that they were finally together, he wanted to stay with them more as well. It seemed a little crowded with so many people living in this small yard. Plus, Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying were both Golden Core State peak stage now. Yi Mo didn't plan for them to form their nascent soul in the Pill City. It would be when they went back to their own place. He would change their cultivation methods after they reached nascent soul state. Today, he was chatting with Luo Ying and Qingxue when he received Lu Wu's message. The flying magic artifact was finished. Yi Mo just want to go to Lu Wu when Ning Qingxue suddenly asked, "Husband, do you have another wife called Xiaoyun?" Yi Mo immediately fell into awkwardness. He knew that Qingxue and Luo Ying knew about this but he didn't know how to mention it to them. They were from Earth. It was already absurd that he married Ning Qingxue and Luo Ying, but now there was Xiaoyun. They also knew about Song Yangzhu and Su Jingguan. Seeing this, Luo Ying smiled and walked up to Yi Mo and grabbed his hand. "For you to like Xiaoyun, she must be a very good woman. Where is she now?" Yi Mo's eyes flashed with some sadness. He often thought about Mu Xiaoyun as well, but there had been no news of her. Even for Yi Mo and Zifeng he at least got some news of them, but there was nothing for Xiaoyun. Yimo even suspected whether she had come to Luoyu continent or wasn't alive anymore. Ning Qingxue walked to Yimo's other side and grabbed his hand as well. Husband, we're not telling you off. We know Xiaoyun is a very good girl. We often heard Z talk about her. Now that we're together every day, I think it would be great if everyone could be here like this every day. Yimo grabbed their hands and said, sorry I didn't tell you about this before, but I really didn't know where to begin. Xiaoyun is a good woman, I miss her a lot. Don't worry, from now on there won't be anyone else. He married Song Yangzhu because there was Yimo. Meanwhile, Mu Xiaoyun was a girl Yimo couldn't bear to abandon. If he abandoned her, her fate would be miserable. Mu Xiaoyun was a very understanding and loving woman. Yimo was indeed into her. Almost all the good characteristics of a woman could be found in her. As for Su Jingwen, Yimo had been hesitant in sleeping with her. Of course part of it was due to her not reaching foundation establishment state, but after she reached foundation establishment state, Yimo still didn't do that. It wasn't that he didn't like Su Jingwen, but he wanted to find Qingxue and Luo Ying first before he got with her. That was not only paying respect to them but also a promise to Su Jingwen. Su Jingwen chased after him from Ninghai to Luo Ying, then to the small world, then to South Peace State. If he hadn't seen her bracelet, she would have died in a foreign world. No one knew about it, he was truly touched by her love. On that snowing street, Su Jingwen stood there silently in front of him like a snow woman as she watched him. That scene was forever etched in Yimo's brain. At that moment, he accepted Su Jingwen. He could even imagine how lonely Su Jingwen was after Yimo was taken away. It was already hugely fortunate that she was able to survive in the cultivation realm. We know husband, don't think too much. Go to Lu Qianbei, he probably called you just now. After Xiaoyun, Jingwen, and Yangzhu come to Moyu City, we will never separate. Song Yangzhu felt Yimo's sadness. She called Yimo husband again. It was a term learned from Earth. It was common but could express her intense feelings. Luo Ying found herself gradually liking this term. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.